Prepare yourself.
Oh, this is the Ninja Troll Digicast.
Hello again and welcome to the Cathedral of Wisdom for the Ninja Troll Digicast. We are the fighters for truth, justice, and the Ninja Troll way. My name is Tim Dixon and I am joined... Why are you laughing at me? Stop it.
Because you're supposed to make me laugh with that. That was bad.
Oh, come on. That was righteous.
Ivan M. righteous.
No, not that bad. My name is Tim Dixon, and I am joined, as always, with Mike Worth.
Hello, Ninja Troll Nation. We have a Domino's Bigfoot pizza-sized episode on the radio program today.
Now I want pizza.
I know, wasn't it so good back in the day? But the Noid.
Oh,
we hated the Noid.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we got that kind of pizza today. But in this episode, we're going to go back to the Misty Borderlands finally.
Sweet.
With Jeff Johns' masterpiece, Flashpoint.
Oh,
which
yes.
is so relevant now.
It is very relevant.
It is, incredibly.
It's as if we planned it.
It is. Time is relative, so let's keep moving here. And in our movie and TV news, we're back in season with our favorite shows, and we have a crap ton of episodes to review and to speculate upon.
Yes.
And finally, in the comic rack, we're going to get an announcement of a brand new Star Wars series coming at the very end of the Darth Vader series that's running now. That's almost done.
Yes, it's almost done, yeah. So they kept it really quiet for a while because it's coming straight out of the end of that. So,
Which
yeah.
I'm excited because I really finally want to read Darth Vader.
You've been waiting on the trade
And I'm
paperback.
I'm picking up everybody's leftovers.
Yeah.
We're going to go right for tidbits. So we're going to start off with some birthdays. So first and foremost, we have Ms. Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yay.
She's 44.
And
Doesn't look a day over 43.
That's not very nice.
Sorry. Sorry.
What is the now, I mean, of course, not her name, but Pepper's, when she became a superhero, when she got a suit, what was her name in the comics?
I have no idea.
It's like,
I don't know. Iron.
It started with an
Pepper.
R, if I remember. Iron Pepper.
Iron Pepper.
That would be awesome. It was, let's see here. Because she became...
Yeah, she became a superhero. I mean,
she
she's
did, yeah. So,
dead, right? And
was she dead? Rescue. That was it. I knew it started with an R. It makes sense.
okay. I was just talking about Rescue.
Yeah. Did she die in the comics?
She died in the movie, didn't she?
No.
Oh, I thought she died in the movie.
No.
Like in
she
the-
just she just broke up with him, and so she didn't show up in the
that's
in
tough.
the other ones.
All right, I thought she died.
Yeah, they kind of made a little mention of that
When Tony read
in
the,
Civil War.
the prompter, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was like somebody said something about she had left him, and he was like, we're not talking about that. We're not doing that. So
I didn't update the PowerPoint.
yeah, oops.
But another badass lady who's been in a lot of great science fiction movies, Miss Linda Hamilton.
Nice.
She's 60.
Wow,
I can't believe that.
Yeah,
That's crazy. She doesn't look it.
Yep.
Michael Douglas is 72. Damn.
Cool. Ant-Man.
We knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Right, the original, right? Hank Pym. Will Smith, 48. Cool. Mark Hamill, 65.
Nice.
Kevin Sorbo, Mr. Hercules,
Cool.
58. Hugh Jackman, 48. And Jim Henson would have been 80.
He would have been 80, yes.
Yep. And Christopher Reeve also would have been 64.
Wow.
But let us not forget the most important birthday this week, Mr. Timothy Roger Dodger Dixon.
Yes, absolutely.
Who turned 18.
21.
Yep.
I could drink now.
21? You've been carrying around that fake ID for a while.
Yeah.
And we went shopping for Timmy D.
Oh, cool.
And we got him the special 50th anniversary cover celebration of Star Trek.
Sweet.
So we're presenting to him now.
is
That's
awesome.
all of the comic, the cover art for all of the issues that came out for the
Nice.
the 50th anniversary.
We were actually just talking about that.
That's what we just
last
talked about.
week.
Star Trek.
Just talking about Star
Shut your
Trek.
mouth.
Wow. Even the Planet of the Apes too.
Yeah, everything. Spectrum War, everything that Star Trek did these last year for the 50th.
Wow.
That's why we got so many good books, was because of the celebration.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
So happy birthday,
Thank you.
Timothy Roger. All right. So now, some items for Batlore went up for auction this past week and sold for a pretty penny.
Oh,
the original Batsuit worn by Christian Bale in The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises sold for $250,000.
That's kooky talk.
That's.
I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't pay it, but if
But
I
those
had
things
it,
are expensive to make, right?
yeah,
So
they are really.
Like I'm surprised it wasn't more, but it's all good.
Well, I mean, it's both. I don't know if you could. Those things are whether the way they're built they're almost specifically to his specifications. So it's not like you could just jump into it.
And it smells like him too.
And I'm sure that it's pretty rank.
Some bale funk.
Bale funk, yeah. So it's not something that somebody's going to get and go, I'm going to wear this to the office. It's well, of course, if you're paying $250,000, you're going to protect it. But it's bona fide movie memorabilia,
without a doubt.
Yeah. So like I said, I'm not saying I wouldn't pay it if I had it, and I don't.
It's not like the Adam West cowl that's like now 5 shades of purple lighter than it was when it first was dyed. But the Batpod motorcycle sold for $406,000.
That's crazy.
Which I guess that makes sense.
But it doesn't even function.
No,
it's not a functioning motorcycle. There's parts of it that are that you could do it. You could make it into a functioning motorcycle. But right now, what they paid over $400,000 for,
it just doesn't work.
Is not functioning.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, it's in their house.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure it's in somebody's
awesome.
bat cave.
It's a great paperweight. Yeah. Batman cave. And so and you said it's not even functioning. But for the first time now in 11 years, superheroes have passed princesses as the top Halloween costume for this year. That's pretty cool.
That actually is a pretty. I mean, because princesses is always the
dominating.
Yeah.
And still, I mean, it's not like they backed off. They still have great princess stuff.
Yeah.
So, and then Los Angeles has declared October 28th as Stan Lee Day. So we're going to get 2 Halloweens.
Yep. There you go.
All right. And that is the first day of Stan's Comic-Case Expo in
he actually has
LA.
his own convention.
Does he really?
It's not like Stan's at the door, like welcoming people.
Welcome, true believers.
But that would be cool.
Is it still $200 to get a picture with him? Like
probably.
Oh man. Well, he figured out the way to just usurp the middleman here and make all the money.
Yeah, just do it himself, and I'm not sure if like he even makes an appearance, but it's branded with his name.
Okay.
So, and it may be like a James Patterson thing where all the books that say James Patterson with so and so, they bought James Patterson's name and they write the book, and so it may be the same kind of thing where these people just paid Stan to slap his name on it.
Oh boy.
Or he may be. I may be completely wrong on this. He may be actually involved in it, but I find it hard to believe that was he 92.
Dude, he's got a few more years to. I mean, they'll lay him in state, and people will still set up a convention around his body.
Yeah, I don't think he's like hands deep in the setting up of con tables and stuff like that.
No,
92 years old.
Nope, he's swimming in the money.
Yeah,
like Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah.
Well, let's kick it to you, Timmy, for movie and TV news.
All right.
Meanwhile, back at the Cathedral of Wisdom, it's the movie and TV news on the Ninja Troll Digicast.
All right, first thing, one of the biggest things, I think, in recent memory, the new Rogue One trailer came out.
I announced this in class. I made everybody watch it. And even people were like into Star Wars, like, okay, cool. And I was like,
shut up and watch it.
What?
You shut your face.
So many new clues and things coming out, right? Scenes we haven't seen yet. So
yeah, we got a full shot of Darth Vader, like coming through like fog or steam. Yeah, pissed off.
Yeah, right. Whoever that person is, right? That seems to be. We're learning about this character, I guess, who's on both sides of the Empire. And
and that's the thing. In that scene, I couldn't tell you who else was in there. All I saw was Darth Vader coming through the steam. I was like, oh yeah. I didn't look at anything else.
Yeah.
But we also got like a long tracking shot of a crashed and destroyed Jedi statue.
Oh, right.
You can see it was like one holding a lightsaber, and it's been knocked over, and sand's kind of like over time
taking it back over.
Yeah, basically. So that I think is supposed to be a planet, like maybe the original Jedi planet, but it's called Jeddah.
Jeddah?
Yeah, Jedha. That's where that's at.
Like home of the Jedi?
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't like really dug in a lot because I kind of want to be.
Yeah, you want that surprise.
Yeah, I want to.
You said that.
Yeah, I don't want everything laid out for me before I get to there. So I'm interested, but then at the same time, I'm not gonna go looking for every little clue of everything.
Because I know secretly you're sad that like we're gonna find out that the first Jedi was named Jedediah, and that's gonna ruin it for you. Okay,
That's where they got it
I just
from.
want to prepare you that might happen. Okay, Disney's in control, Timmy,
Nice.
and they want to save Frontierland.
All the cowboys now have lightsabers.
But there were some cool new ships, right? We saw more angles of like
And
the
we actually,
X-Wings,
we actually got to see
Y-Wings.
X-wings and Y-wings in battle, like full flight in a space battle.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get a good dogfight kind of, because that was one of the coolest things in the first couple movies was the dogfights where you had the TIE fighters going against, and we've seen the TIE fighter already in one of the trailers, so we know we're gonna get them.
Right.
So yeah, it's feeling more and more like a good throwback to those, because we got Force Awakens and it was good, and you had a version of these, but this is the stuff that we remember
Right. Dirty.
watching from a kid as a kid.
Exactly.
And yeah, it's a very good point. It's very dirty. It's broken down, like when they're scrounging whatever they can to feed this rebellion.
Right.
That is, it's just hanging on by threads.
Yeah.
You definitely get that. You definitely get that feel.
Well, I think it's going to be an incredible movie. I mean, they showed more of the martial arts going on,
Yeah.
right? That guy who's not force sensitive, but he's just
yeah,
really
he is
gifted fighter.
Yeah, he is force sensitive,
Okay, but not
but
a
not
Jedi.
a Jedi or a Sith. He talks about the living force and how you just let it flow through you and it takes you where it wants to go, rather than
You try to
saying,
control it.
yeah, exactly.
Hadouken.
Yeah, but
We're
yeah,
always so lucky.
and Forrest Whitaker's character, I've forgotten his name, but you
with
see
the
more. He actually,
cybernetic-
he has
that
cybernetic
CG
legs.
looks really good.
Yeah, and it's Forrest Whitaker. I mean, so he's like killing it.
Ghost dog.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm really looking forward, and that's in December. I think it's December 18th. I think is.
Yeah, it's real early in the
Yeah.
month. Yep.
Yeah. And also we got
Sorry. Okay.
we got a little news about the Black Panther movie. Winston Duke has been cast as M'Baku for the upcoming live action Black Panther movie.
And who's M'Baku again?
M'Baku is better known as Man-Ape. He's a longtime foe of Black Panther. He's the leader of the Jabari tribe, which is actually a recognized micronation inside Wakanda.
Oh.
So
It's its own.
it's its own
It's a
entity.
political.
Yes.
Wakandan. Oh wow. So nobody else can really understand or help,
Yeah.
or maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. And he is also the African nation's second greatest warrior, right behind Black Panther.
Oh.
So I'm sure there's no
rivalry at
no
all.
rivalry at all between the two of them.
No state fair.
But I'm not
feud.
real familiar with Winston Duke. I don't know if he's been in anything that we would know.
Well, you're gonna look it up. I'm
I
sure.
am, of course, as I speak.
So this is gonna because Black Panther's been able to come out and sort of get justice, like in Civil War, we saw him like fighting for Wakanda.
Yeah.
But now, like, I'm sure this battle's gonna spill over into something, right? And then he'll be responsible for this guy
Probably
being
yeah.
Wakandan, right? Despite the micronation.
It's
right?
it's very possible. Yeah, because I mean, it says it's recognized, but who's it recognized by? Wakanda or
United Nations
the United
or-
Nations?
Right. Yep.
Yeah, he actually, it looks like he's just done several TV series, and not like as a regular, just kind of an episode here and there.
Cool.
He's a young guy.
Oh, yeah, I don't recognize him.
Yeah, he's a younger guy.
Cool.
But hey, that's what you want.
Yeah, I mean to take on T'Challa, I mean you gotta be good.
Yeah,
Even if you're second best.
that's right.
It's all good.
And people have been speculating whether Deathstroke will be featured in the Justice League movie as well as the new Batman movie. And sharp-eyed people on Twitter, which apparently people on Twitter have all the time in the world, they took a picture that Zack Snyder tweeted out. He was working at his desk wearing the Batman gauntlets. And people took that picture, zoomed it in, and zoomed in on what he was working on.
Oh, no.
It was storyboards that seemed to include Deathstroke. But when you zoom in a picture that's tweeted out I don't know how
Twitter
much
photo.
I don't know how much I'd put into that, but I just thought it was cool. He decided to put on Batman's gauntlets and tweet out a picture.
I wonder how he's like, all right, let me go to my office. I'm going to get the gauntlets. We'll do this. We're going to do this, guys. Come on, let's do this. Like,
that's exactly how it.
What?
It's exactly how it went down.
Because if he's wearing the gauntlets, who took the picture?
Yeah.
Yeah. Assistant,
Of
get me
course.
a latte and take my Twitter photo.
Take my Twitter photo. Exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah. All of those things are so calculated. I mean, they know exactly what they're doing. They know when they're most probably, if it was actually a Deathstroke storyboard that he was working on, he knew exactly what he was doing.
Totally. Yeah, they weren't like, all right, just whatever. You know, it's
just
like,
throw whatever on the desk and
that's going on in my office. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
broadcast.
And we now know the title of the third Wolverine movie.
Yes.
It's going to be called simply Logan.
Nice.
And the more we see, the more it's going to be Old Man Logan.
Nice.
There's different. They've tweeted out pictures. One called Rest Stop. They just captioned it Rest Stop, and it was a truck sitting at like a old gas station out kind of in the desert. Which the Old Man Logan story was an old Hawkeye and an old Wolverine traveling across this post-apocalyptic America. So
cool.
it was kind of a road trip, and they had to stop different places. The whole premise of the Old Man Logan story is it's, I think, 50 years after all the heroes were murdered, and the supervillains took over America and split it amongst themselves.
So doesn't he find out that he was the killer?
He does, yes.
Yeah, right. Because he got taken over.
Yeah, well, it's revealed. No, he knew. That's why he went into hiding.
Oh.
But it's revealed as they go along that that's what happened.
Down. Oh, wow,
Mysterio, I believe, made an illusion.
Mysterio?
Yeah.
Oh, that they were all bad guys,
Yeah.
and then he killed them all,
And then
right?
he basically came back to himself, and everybody, including Jean, are all murdered at his feet by himself. And at that point he said, "I'm never doing it again. I'm never." And he went
Claws are standing.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is,
so let's get away from things like murder and go hang out with Clint Barton.
Well, that's the thing. He spent all that time. He just kind of sequestered himself out in the middle of the desert in California, which becomes Hulk land. Because the Hulk is in charge of the Hulk, and his family are in charge of that area. Okay, they don't have the rights to the Hulk, so who are they gonna do? Because there's a fairly significant fracas between Logan and the Hulk people, or the Hulk family. So they don't have the rights to. Fox doesn't have the rights to that. So who's gonna be? Yeah.
Oh man, these companies keep getting in trouble, where they do these stories with major crossovers.
Well,
they can't fulfill.
They wouldn't stick completely with that, because when basically Hulk just keeps poking at him, and he just refuses to fight, and he's been doing it for years. He's just been poking at him the whole time. And finally, when Hawkeye comes along, and I forget exactly what there's a mission, we got to go do this. And that's what pulls him back in. He ends up going to, or being captured by the Hulks, and going to their headquarters, and the Hulk eats him. Full on, just like eats him.
Whoa.
And Wolverine comes out. So they wouldn't do that in the movie. So
whoa,
the story was going to be changed anyway.
Hugh Jackman was like, "Please, can we do
yeah.
that Wolverine alien?"
I just had a thought.
Uh-oh.
What about Blob?
Oh,
it would perfectly work.
Yeah, right. Another
it
big
would still,
giant, character who would be interested in eating Wolverine.
Yeah. So and he's a smaller, much smaller than him.
And have they used Blob in X-Men at all yet?
The Origins movie.
They had Blob. Okay.
Yeah, Wolverine Origins.
Cool.
Which I don't know if they're acknowledging that, how they're in the Wolverine movies, whether they've just ignored that or what.
Well, they could do Sabretooth or Sasquatch, right? Thinking about other large.
Yeah.
Because like Sasquatch is like not as strong as Hulk, but is still a strong beast type of thing.
I mean, they could come up with something, but
yeah.
But like I said,
that's cool.
I don't figure they would do the whole eating Wolverine and then him carving his way out of the Hulk. So
that's incredible.
The story was going to be changed anyway.
That's something.
But they did also release a poster with a little girl's hand holding Logan's.
Ooh.
So the thought is that's probably going to be X-23, Laura Kinney, who is now the current Wolverine. Yes. She's the female clone of him, and I still don't know how that works because a clone is a exact duplicate. If it's an exact duplicate, then it can't be a female. I don't know.
Well, maybe we'll learn more about Logan.
Yeah. But they're probably, if it is that character, they'll probably modify her origin to kind of fit, to deal with that.
Yep.
And they also released a poster of a very old Professor X.
Ooh.
And apparently Logan's taking care of him.
Oh.
So maybe he's like
Patrick Stewart?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
This will be his last X-Men movie, right?
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was in the poster, he was pretty roughed up. It was definitely aged.
Old.
Yeah.
Old.
Yeah.
Yep. Like you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So,
happy birthday.
Yeah. And there will be a sequel to Batman Return of the Caped Crusaders, which is the animated movie with the voice talent of Adam West and Burt Ward that I think comes out, I think it's before the end of this month.
Oh, awesome. This is one we were talking about a while back.
Exactly.
We're excited for.
Yeah, they've announced that there's going to be a sequel. It's going to be Batman versus Two-Face.
Ooh.
And William Shatner is voicing Two-Face.
Awesome.
So there's just two of my great loves just colliding right there in the center. It's going to be interesting.
That's cool.
I mean, other than the Star Trek animated series, I don't know if Shatner's done a lot of voice work.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's worth an internet search there.
Yeah. It'd definitely be
Shatner.
Extremely interesting to hear him as Two-Face. And it may be one of those situations where it's hard for me to hear it and say, oh, that's Harvey Dent.
Ooh, quite a bit.
Oh, has he?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, not a lot of stuff we know. But would you like to hear which one?
Sure.
So he was Futurama. He played himself.
Oh, okay.
Star Trek, as you mentioned, 73. Mm-hmm. 2013, Escape from Planet Earth. He was General Schenker. Quantum Quest, the Cassini Space Odyssey. In 2011, he played the Core. Gotta Catch Santa Claus. In 2008, he played Santa. Over the Hedge, he played Ozzy. He was animated.
I've seen that. I don't know. I don't remember.
He was like Ozzy the Muskrat or Possum, I guess. Yep. The Wild, 2006, he played Kazar, like a horse-looking thing. Okay, on the show Lil Pimp, he was in 2005, he played Tony Gold. And then he was Mayor Fleming, on Osmosis Jones.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
That's more than I expected.
There you go, Timmy.
Oh,
you asked.
Cool.
And
like I said, I don't know if it's going to be a situation where I hear the voice and instead of thinking, oh, that's Harvey Dent, it's going to be that's William Shatner.
Well, when I think Harvey Dent, I always think of the guy with the really crazy voice from the animated series. And he was always great at it.
I think, if I'm not badly mistaken, I think that was Richard Mull.
Really?
Bull from Night Court.
Yeah.
He did a lot of...
well, he had such a voice.
Yeah, he did a lot of stuff for that series. Let's see. Two-Face.
Yeah, I wonder who that guy was. I mean, certainly had a scary voice, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Let's see here. Yep, it was Richard Mull. Yep.
Whoa, Timmy D for the win.
Yeah, in the first episode, which was the Man-Bat episode, if you remember it, the Man-Bat was attacking these chemical companies and stealing chemicals that he needed for his serum. And at the first one he goes to, or the first one we see him go to, there's a security guard and he's got a little voice recorder and he's learn to do voice work in your spare time. And he's recording himself to try to get voice work. And that was the thing. As soon as I heard it, I was like, wait a minute, I know that voice. And I kept rolling it back to go, okay, who is that? Who is that? And I finally picked up that it was Richard Mull.
I have not watched Night Court since it was on TV.
Yeah. It's been a while. But yeah, you're right. He does have that.
It was great
Voice.
That animated series did so much for Batman.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. That would be a great showcase.
Oh yeah.
Just saying.
Oh man, I could
Jimmy
dive
B.
into that. That's because it changed
Batman?
animation.
Yeah.
It changed animation too.
Did it
because
really?
they actually
Midway through?
no. It changed the way people did animation.
Oh yeah, of course.
I mean, because they wanted it to be so dark, they started with black paper.
Yeah, they would draw on the black paper. I remember that, or paint, I guess, whatever. Yeah, I remember reading that in like Wizard magazine or something about how that was like a whole to get the noir.
Yeah,
they just started from black.
I love that. I can still sit down and watch that series.
Yeah,
No
it's
problem.
quality.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
And even to the first one, like I said, the Man Bat episode, the transformation of
I remember
him
being
into
scary.
Yeah,
right?
I was like, that was my first thought. I was like, this is 4:00 in the afternoon.
What's going on?
Slow down.
Yeah.
Because I mean, granted, at the time I was probably 20, so it wasn't exactly a kid watching it, but there would be a lot of children watching it. So that was my first thought. I was like, wow, that's it's a little scary. So
Compared to what we had in the 70s and like the 80s,
Oh, yeah.
like for movies, I mean, good lord.
yeah, it was awesome.
It ain't so bad now.
Yeah.
People forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's transition into TV and the most important news of the year, as far as I'm concerned. Amazon has ordered the Tick series to a full series
Awesome.
on Amazon Prime.
They did all the pilots, right? They
Yes,
all got
they took
picked
all
up?
of them, yeah.
That's great. Cool.
Yeah. And unfortunately, now it's going to go into production, and it's going to be forever before we see it, unfortunately.
Oh, my
It's
God.
going to be,
Okay.
they didn't say exactly when, but it'll be 2017.
Is Image Comics putting out this?
No. Well, see,
The
that's
show.
the thing. It's weird because you look at it and go, okay, it's cool the way they do stuff because instead of like 3 or 4 executives looking at it going, yeah, we want that. They put
Yeah.
it up to the public, and that's great.
Great.
Problem is, they produce the pilot, we watch the pilot, then we
want it.
decide on the pilot, then they start producing. Whereas if the executives decide it, by the time it airs, we've already got a full season ready,
Right.
and so it's good and bad.
It's just bad.
Yeah, so it kind of trades off. So
It's horrible.
yeah. And The Walking Dead released a clip of the premiere
Oh, I saw
showing
this.
Rick telling Negan that he's going to kill him.
Yeah, not today. Not tomorrow. That was good.
Yeah. But he gets, if you watch the whole clip, he asks Simon. He says, Simon's my right-hand man.
Oh.
It's good to have one of those. And he asked him what he had. And Rick had a hatchet. So he gets the hatchet from Simon, and then he grabs Rick and he starts dragging him to the Winnebago. I think Rick's losing his arm.
Oh.
In the comics, that's the thing. He lost it, and he has a
wow.
prosthetic. I think he's going to lose that arm.
Oh, man.
I don't know why you would do both in one, but
That's both brutal things. Maybe they want to get all the brutality out at the beginning.
oh, because I'm sure there's nothing brutal is going to happen for the rest of the season.
Yeah. What about the tea party scene?
Yes.
Isn't that nice? They get all dressed up with the zombies.
Yeah, I think, but the episode is called Right Hand Man, and he gets his hatchet from the guy, and then he drags him off to the Winnebago. To me,
It ain't an episode of Road Rules.
yeah, you're gonna
Yep, they're going. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're going to take Rick's hand.
something.
For sure.
Yeah, it sounds like
One or
yeah.
the other. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, well,
that's Sunday, right? We're going to have Walking Dead.
23rd,
Oh man.
not this Sunday, next Sunday.
Damn.
Yeah, I cannot wait. It's gonna be
Oh,
so
I know.
awesome.
It's going to be bananas. Yeah.
And have you been watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this season?
No.
Dude, you really need to. The Ghost Rider
Is it cool?
is awesome.
I mean, I haven't watched it since the beginning, so I feel like I can't
Yeah,
plug
it would
in.
it would be hard to pick back up, but
'Cause you're always like Coulson, blah, blah, blah,
yeah,
you know.
I really have. I mean,
okay.
usually like during the season, I get behind, so I have to like make a run towards the end of the season just to get them all watched. But I'm more likely because Ghost Rider's always been a favorite of mine, and they are doing it extremely well.
He's got the car, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
The transformation from Robbie Reyes into Ghost Rider is one of the best effects things I've seen on TV in a while.
Awesome.
It looked really, really good.
Awesome.
And just the way the kid is playing it, he's doing a great job. It's fun to see that character done right. I mean, that
Good.
what I've seen from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is better than both of the movies, the Nicolas Cage movies. And they also introduced the new director of S.H.I.E.L.D., played by Jason O'Mara. They announced a while ago that the new director would have Marvel roots that went back to the 40s. And in the second episode, it's called Meet the New Boss, Agent Coulson referred to him as Jeffrey. So we finally got a name.
Oh.
But if you and you also we found out later he was Inhuman, because May was infected with some kind of craziness. She's going nuts, fighting everybody, and he just kind of grabs her and pins her to the wall and goes, "Okay, you need to stop."
So he's
Inhuman.
special.
Yeah. And he actually said, Coulson said something about him. He called him something, and he said, "I prefer the term Inhuman." So he is
Call him a
Inhuman.
mutant or something?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly. No, they can't use that word. That's owned by Fox. I know it gets crazy, but if you had your closed captioning on, or if you go to the IMDb page, because it's on there too, you know that the director's last name is Mace. So it's Jeffrey Mace, which was the superhero, the Patriot.
Oh, like the one who dressed up as Cap for
Yes,
a while?
who was actually the third Captain America.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so and he's actually the only one of those substitute captains that didn't die a horrible death. Because you remember back on the 4th of July, I think that was probably our first showcase. We actually looked up all the caps,
right?
And they like all of them except for him either went insane or were like crushed by an evil robot or something like that. It was like a horrible death.
Oh God, it's hard to be the captain.
It is.
Be Captain Crunch. It's easier.
It was he was introduced in the Human Torch #4 in 1941.
Oh wow.
But in 76, his history was retconned so that they could say they could explain Captain America's adventures in the 50s. If you read the comics in the 50s, it was still Steve Rogers.
Right.
But they retconned everything.
When they made him stuck in the ice. Yeah.
Yeah. When they came up with that thing, they went back and said, "Oh, well, it was a different Captain America then." So
that's why it became a mantle.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah, but it's I haven't watched this week's episode yet, but it's been really, really good. Daisy Quake is out on her own now.
Wasn't she Skylar?
She was originally called Sky, and then she found out her real name was Daisy.
Okay.
And that's the in the comics is Quake. They don't call her that. I think that may become her a code name or something.
Okay. But
she's kind of out on her own, and S.H.I.E.L.D. is going back public. So that's the reason there's a new director. And he's and Coulson is, to most people, dead. They never did deal with, to the public, they never did deal with the fact that he did die during the invasion of New York, but they brought him back, and they don't want to deal with that. So they don't want to remind people that they play with stuff that they shouldn't.
Oh man. So
this guy is the quintessential, like, glad handing kind of,
cleaning up the face of the organization.
Yeah, and that's why,
like you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
fresh face.
Somebody's got to do that.
So yeah, that's the reason he's in that spot. So I'm sure there'll be times when they're knocking heads. He's very very nice, very personable. Obviously, Coulson's known him for a while because he called him Jeffrey. So he knows him personally. Mm-hmm. I'm sure at some point they'll be, clashing. So
I said decaf.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've been talking about this. We've been watching Luke Cage so far. You're farther on than I am.
Yeah.
I've gotten through 5 episodes. You said you're on 10?
I'm on 10.
Yeah.
It's getting
It's really good, yeah.
There's so many ups and downs between where you are and where I am.
Yeah.
Like it's such a, I got to say, I think it's one of the best TV series that's come out. I think it's better than Daredevil. Frankly.
Wow.
Yeah, I would say. Even with 2 seasons.
Man.
It's just because, Luke Cage, like Daredevil has so much provenance, right? Mm-hmm. Luke Cage doesn't so much. and he's kind of one-dimensional. Like he's just a strong dude.
Yeah.
And like his legacy is blaxploitation style from from Marvel in the 70s and the 80s. So like there's not a high expectation for him. So they can only go up. So
and
they're hitting it perfect, I think.
But they're also they're filling that out because from the comics, it's nothing but the blaxploitation, but they're giving him the backstory to make you care about him and his wife that's gone now, and him caring, and what I loved is the build that I'm actually just at the end of now. Is for the longest time he was like, you know what, I don't want to do this, I don't want any trouble, I don't, it's something. Since
we're spoilers, let's give the warning here. But since Pop died,
exactly,
which happens very early on,
right,
the funeral scene is a really intense moment where both hero and villain like out each other, out their
and very,
hatred,
in very couched terms,
right?
Because they don't want to just come out and say it,
like you,
because they're giving a eulogy at a funeral.
Yeah,
but it's made clear to everybody who's over here and who's over here.
Exactly.
And it's I mean, for a while there, he's it's not, he doesn't want to get involved, he doesn't want to get into it, and he's here and there he's forced to do something, but then he backs off and says, okay, I just did that, I'm not doing it anymore.
Right.
It's finally he's taken the journey to step up and say, now these people are being protected by me. This is who I am.
I mean, it's just such a good show. I mean, I just love that they're like constantly trying to figure out what breaks him.
Yeah.
And nothing works.
Yeah.
And I think the Misty Knight character is one of the strongest ones.
Yeah.
I got a question though. Does she have like clairvoyant powers?
I don't think so. No, I know she in the comics she ends up with a robotic arm.
Oh. Okay.
But I don't know if she has any kind of powers.
Because like they show her like at crime scenes, and is it just metaphorical?
I think that's metaphorical, kind of. But she just kind of like a good profiler. She gets into, she's abilities: highly skilled martial artist, proficient hand-to-hand combat, near perfect aim, via the bionic right arm, superhuman strength. I guess that would come with
the arm.
That would come with the arm too.
Okay. So no, all right. Because I thought maybe she had a power. At least they were alluding to it. That like she was somehow psychic or could feel it or something.
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, they may play that up a little more, but to me that was more of just like a good profiler, kind of getting into the scene and being able to tell where everything happened.
Yeah.
But they may push that a little farther into that she has some type of power.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. I like that Claire, right?
She showed up.
Is shown up, so making that connection from Daredevil, Jessica Jones world.
And that's where her grandmother, is it her mom or grandmother that lives there?
Her mom lives up in Harlem. Yeah. Yep, Spanish Harlem. So, yeah, it's like she's able to go to that world and it's no problem.
Yeah.
Or I guess it makes sense for her to go there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's cool because like now I'm thinking, well, what's the Danny Rand Iron Fist show? How's that going to sort of unfold?
Yeah.
Will it be similar? And then what's the Defenders going to ultimately be like?
Yeah.
And then will we have more Daredevil, Jessica Jones seasons in between?
I hope so. I don't think probably we won't have. If anything, it would be a Daredevil.
Not another Jessica Jones. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
It didn't do as well. I think Luke Cage has been the savior for this.
I mean, Jessica Jones was still really good. I don't know. I mean, because Netflix doesn't have to release like ratings or like how many plays it gets or stuff like that. So,
I guess not. Do they though? I mean, I
don't know.
Netflix put that stuff out? Netflix total plays.
But Simone Missick, who plays Misty Knight, she will be in the Defenders alongside Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Iron Fist. And Sigourney Weaver will be playing the villain.
Awesome.
They didn't say who. They didn't say who she was.
Zool.
Yeah. There is no Dana.
It'll be like Zool. A Ripley Zool type of combo. Yeah.
That'll be interesting to see who she would be.
She'll be a space cellist.
the guy that was her
My
boyfriend.
name is Ripley Barrett.
So yeah, it'd be interesting to see who the villain is and how. I mean, whether it's a, I guess everything's been so kind of down to earth. Even Luke Cage, who has the super strength, has the everything.
He's fighting gangsters.
Yeah, he's fighting gangsters. The only one that kind of strayed from that was Jessica Jones, and it's still
Kilgrave. Yeah,
I mean, it was just a telepathy. Okay, it wasn't really crazy superpowery. It was kind of something that we deal with every day, but it's something that's known as something that can actually happen.
Well, they just took, like, most good guys have psychic powers, right?
Yeah.
And they use them for good, but this is now what happens if it goes wrong? What would somebody do? And it's that guy indulges himself in every way.
Yeah.
So.
And to the point to where he doesn't even think about it anymore. It just he just does it.
And he makes people like kill themselves and hurt themselves.
And it doesn't affect him at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I mean, David Tennant just
killed that.
He
was so scary.
Yeah.
He was so scary. Yeah, he was good.
The Doctor. And speaking of villains in a big crossover, the villains for the 4-part crossover between Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, and Supergirl has been revealed as the Dominators.
Oh.
The aggressive alien species that was introduced in the Evasion storyline from artist Todd McFarlane and writer Keith Giffen in 1988.
It's the JLA invasion.
Yeah,
right?
the big crazy, tall-headed aliens. They were yellow skinned and had a big red dot with the ginormous teeth.
I never read this, so I'm curious to see.
I vaguely remember it. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I remember, like, as soon as they said the Dominators, I was like, oh yeah, big teeth. The crazy guys with the big teeth.
Those big teeth guys.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And Stephen Amell tweeted a picture of himself standing on a rooftop with Melissa Benoist dressed as Supergirl.
Oh. So
possibly teasing that part of the crawler that she's going to be coming to Star City. We know they're going to be all crossing over, but are they? My big question is, are they all going to be brought together into one world?
That's true, because we're dealing with multiverse here, so
yeah,
we wouldn't be able to. I mean, and Barry's messed up his whole world.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
And so it looks like they were when he tweeted that, they were in the middle of shooting the 100th episode
of Arrow.
So maybe she's going to be part of, and the 100th episode will also be part of that 4-part crossover.
So I'm gonna just say this here, because I know we're gonna talk about Flash in a second. I think Robert Queen is gonna be the
that's
gonna
Arrow. Be a change.
I think that's gonna be, because he needs that Batman. I thought, like, maybe, well, we'll talk about Flash. Yeah, we'll get into that. But I think he's gonna. I'd like to see that, at least I would say.
Yeah, it's a distinct possibility. I mean, at this point, anything could be changed.
It'd be cool.
And speaking of Flash, we got our Flashpoint and Paradox. We've seen both episodes.
Yep.
Barry had changed the timeline. He went back and saved his mom, but then things were not as good as he thought.
Nope.
Things were messed up, and he had Reverse Flash in a cage.
Yeah, because that always worked.
Yeah, and in Reverse Flash's little soliloquy, he actually made a lot of sense. It's like,
yeah, he sounded very logical.
You had the ability to go back and change anything you want. You didn't go back and save JFK. You didn't go back and stop Hitler before he came to power. You went back and saved your mommy because you missed her.
Cold.
Cold. Yeah, but it's, and then his in there was, now who's the villain? You're messing up everybody's life just because you missed your mommy. Now who's the villain?
I didn't like the Reverse Flash first season. It was cool, but I was just like, he's just okay,
Yeah.
But he's gotten really cool now.
That guy I think I like Tom Cavanaugh, but I think this guy does
the real
Matt Lesher. Does much better as Reverse Flash, because just that scene right there just nailed it. I mean, that's the thing. That's what Eobard thought. He hates Barry so much. He'll just do anything. He'll say anything like that just to
get in his skin.
Get under his skin.
Well, I mean, I thought it was so. Right, let's talk about these 2 episodes in total here. So we got Flashpoint and Paradox,
yes.
right, which is the title of the animation.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was very interesting because like we thought, we assumed, I would say, that they were going to wrap it up, but it's not wrapped up.
It's not wrapped up. Yeah.
No. And it could go all season long, or a good while. Maybe the crossover is where it gets fixed.
That's the interesting thing is, okay, will it be fixed? Yeah, you and I had this conversation yesterday. It's like, okay,
right.
Barry has now literally, Dad came along and said, knock it off.
Right. And said, deal with it, right?
Yeah,
that's what we talked about. We said,
exactly.
deal with it. So will Barry stick with this and then just make everybody's lives better?
Try to start from here and go forward. Quit trying to go back and fix things.
Right.
And just go, okay, this is what we got, and go forward from here.
And most everything happened like the same way, just in different ways.
Yeah.
So like Dante was killed differently, for example, which made...
Was he? I don't think he was dead in the regular...
Yeah, I thought so.
Was he?
Yeah, didn't he die like the first... Remember when Dante came back and gave Cisco like a real hard time and then like pushed him around? I thought he died. Yeah.
I don't know if we can Google, is Dante dead?
Well, because like I thought Zoom killed him.
Did he?
That's what I thought. Because like he said something about like, oh, well, didn't Zoom... when Zoom killed your brother, I'm really sorry. He's like, Dante was killed by a drunk driver.
Oh.
Right? Do you remember that? It was just it was like a very sad way for him to die. You know, like at least with Zoom, they were able to get justice.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might be wrong.
Yeah,
if Dante's dead or not. But it just seems like, and then we saw Caitlin, her hand got frosty.
Yep.
Right?
Frosty.
and Cisco's vibe powers are full force.
Yeah, he's got the gauntlets.
He's ready to rock.
Immediately, my daughter Emma has to go, I might start working on this.
I got to make those.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, freeze framing to get all the details.
Yeah.
Crazy
freeze
kid.
framing and lightening the image so she can see them better.
Good for her.
She's nuts, man.
That's research.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Direct research.
But yeah, she we see him, like you said, full on vibe. He's got the gauntlets. He uses his powers to attack. But he is not the same Cisco, and that's Emma's biggest complaint. Is like, I want the old Cisco back.
We got a glimmer.
Got a glimmer.
Probably going to come back.
Yeah,
he's probably going to get out of his sadness and come back and be happy
but
again.
It's hard for Barry has come back into this, and there's things that he did but he didn't do. Mm-hmm. I mean, Barry has done these things, but Barry doesn't know what he's done. So Cisco's pissed at him, and he doesn't know why.
Right, or Joe doesn't talk to Iris. Right, that was the one thing that they noticed. But then let's talk about Tom Felton addition to the squad, the police squad, as being Barry's job, right? And the old
he's the metahuman expert,
right?
CSI.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and then we have Dr. Alchemy who then brings back Rival, right? Which you had said a long time ago was an old Jay Garrick.
Yes, that was
villain.
Essentially the Reverse Flash for Jay Garrick.
Right, in the Golden Age.
Yeah.
But then we have him now, and he looks like a troll. Like, sorry, I know we like trolls, but his head thing is so weird. Like,
I actually like
about?
I like the look, except for the nose. It looks weird on his nose, but I don't know why. But those little horns on the side, they crack me up. So
yeah, all right. If they're for comic effect, then we'll take them.
Where would you get that anyway? Because that's something that I think about, like when there's a new villain and they come in their little fancy outfit. I'm like, where did you get that?
Yeah.
Did you make it yourself, or did you? I mean,
right.
So where did you get that big horned mask thing from?
Well, it's funny. It's like in the cosplay world versus the superhero world. You want the professional grade stuff.
Yeah.
That is going to survive a fight. But then when you're at the cosplay event, and if you have that, you're disqualified.
Yeah.
Because you cheated.
Exactly. Yeah.
You have a Cisco creating these things for you.
That's right.
But I thought was really interesting is, I guess, whoever Alchemy is, I think it's Tom Felton.
It's possible. Yeah.
Yep.
That would be a little too on the nose, though.
It would be.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think then, like, he's doing something with these husks where people are being taken out of like a former shell. That must be their way of bringing in their doppelganger.
Yeah, most probably. Or if alchemy is using this, and I think they actually said in the episode that I think Clara said he's bringing he's making them into the best version of themselves. Yeah. Maybe alchemy says that. I don't remember. I remember hearing that, but maybe that's what it is. He hits them with the stone, and then they kind of
hibernate,
molt, basically.
Yeah, right, and then come out as their meta-human self. So it makes me wonder, like, there's other husks around the city, and we haven't gotten much detail about them yet.
And is this how we get Kid Flash back?
Yeah, or Killer
is there
Frost.
Something else? Yeah.
I mean,
well, she's already
showing powers.
She's showing powers, but yeah, maybe he hits her with that. And is she gonna be fighting it? Is she gonna go give into it completely and become Killer Frost? Or
why would it make her evil though? Like generally, the evil people don't become evil.
Yeah,
they just are already mad.
She's obviously scared of it because you could tell when she's looking at her hand do that.
Yeah, whoa. Like,
she's and she said before that she knows that she became Killer Frost on Earth 2, and she's afraid that's in her. That's
because she saw Killer Frost.
Yeah.
And got wind of her from Zoom.
Yeah.
Right, being taken over there. Well, so far so good with Flash.
Yeah.
The episodes have been really, really cool. When we go to the multiverse section, we'll comment a little bit on this because I did a comparison between the comic, the animated series, and then obviously what we're looking at today.
Cool. Yeah.
All right, so my prediction is that I think the crossover is going to be the big Justice League moment in both the comic book and the animated movie. But I don't know who will fill in the blanks, right?
Yeah.
We're not going to get a Batman, right? Because there's no Batman in that world.
Yep.
My idea is I think we'll get Robert Queen as
the Batman,
as the Arrow. Yeah, the sort of darker Arrow.
Yeah. Okay.
Who will sort of work that way. Because they already have the relationship. I mean, because Flashpoint is really based on the parent-child relationship. And I don't want to give away too much here, but like that's a huge point. And somebody else needs to echo that with him.
Yeah. And when Barry went to Felicity to talk to her.
Oh, right.
They found out that
what was different in their world?
Diggs' child is not Sarah. Diggs' child is John Jr., who we saw in Legends as calling himself Connor Hawke as the future Green Arrow.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yep.
Whoa.
So,
damn.
Has Legends already visited the Flashpoint?
I'm sure.
Universe?
I'm totally sure that they have. Yeah.
And that's the whole thing with them. They're kind of jumping around. And I haven't watched this week's premiere yet.
Oh, I did. It's good.
Okay, cool.
It's real good.
So, are they jumping to Earths? Are they jumping in time? So,
well, they visit alternate timelines all the time.
Yeah.
And they do in this episode.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. So the Nazis nuke New York in 1942.
Yikes.
Which is 3 years before the bomb was created.
I did see that the clip where it'll be I'll assume Citizen Steel comes to Oliver.
I don't want to ruin it.
Well, that's the clip that they released of him basically outing Oliver and going, it doesn't take. He says he's a time forensic time researcher or whatever.
No, he's a historian.
Yeah, and he tells.
Says, well, by the way, I guess I'm a time detective.
That's what he calls. Yeah, and he says, but it doesn't take a time detective to figure out that. Yeah. As soon as you came back to town, Robin Hood shows up.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was
yeah.
He said that to him, and Oliver was like, "We're done here."
Yeah. He got all.
And he was like, "No way." And then he showed him like a picture of Ray Palmer in like a caveman.
Some kind of cave drawing. Yeah. So I can't wait to watch it. I should have a chance this weekend to watch it.
It's good.
And catch up.
Yeah, they're that show's doing something. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm waiting on, things are different because Barry's changed things. I'm waiting for Leonard Snart to show up because we know he's been signed as a regular for all the series.
We've seen,
even though he died in Legends, but he's
That
been
doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
been
very
si-
alive because of Barry. Yeah.
He's been signed as a regular for all 4 series, so he can show up anywhere at any time. So we know he's going to come back. So I'm thinking that's one of the things that changed. The one thing that did get changed by Reverse Flash that cracked me up is when they get back to our time in the fixed universe. Zoom has had, or not Zoom. I still call him Professor Zoom. Reverse Flash had a chance to shave. I thought that was interesting.
Really?
In the cage that Barry had him in, he was all grizzled and had like a stubble. Then when he drops him on his porch, he's completely clean shaven.
Damn, you're a continuity hawk. I did not even realize that.
I just thought it was hilarious. I was like, well, he had time to shave.
Well, he did fix the timeline. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but question, right? So when Barry goes in and knocks over Reverse Flash and saves his mom, where's little boy Barry?
He's already taken out because the other Barry
Picks him up and
takes
away?
him out. Yeah.
Okay. Another question. When Barry goes back to the other time, where's Barry there?
Wait a minute. When he goes back to the
When he goes to the new timeline, right, and starts living there, where's the other Barry? Does he just overwrite him, or like how does that
I think
work?
he overwrites him.
Okay, all right, that wasn't clear, so I was like,
To what? Oh, well, that's the thing. All this stuff, if you think about it too much, gives you a headache.
Well,
So-
I just want to follow the rules that they've set up, which is like, if you go
exactly.
to another Earth, you have a doppelganger,
Yeah.
right? But if you go to another time, you don't necessarily. But every time travel story I've ever read, you do.
You do, exactly.
So, and you
so-
shouldn't touch them because you'll.
Yeah, that was
you can't.
Time Cop. If you touched them, they like exploded. It was like matter and antimatter. So
JCVD, okay?
that's right.
That's
That's
my
right.
man. That's my man.
Don't mess with
He
Jean-Claude
knows-
Van Damme.
Don't. He'll punch you and then do a split.
That's right. So he'll put you while he's doing a split.
Ooh.
So, but we got, and I'm waiting on the 3 of them, but we got Jay and Barry
Yeah.
in the same shot, and not like Jay, who's been trapped in a cage for months on end and looking like crap.
Hell. Yeah.
This was
Jay's
full on
stuck on an island.
hat, the helmet kicked to the side, full health. Jay Garrick and Barry standing next to each other, and if I get the 3 of them, I'm just gonna lose it. So yeah, it was really awesome to see the 2 of them interacting well, and who was it? Wells told him, okay, he told me, I'm your dad's doppelganger. Sorry about that. There ain't nothing I can do.
Yeah.
It's like, but I like his portrayal of Jay Garrick.
Oh, he's doing a great job.
Yeah, it's
He gets
kind
to
of
play
like
the
his
Flash
dad,
all over
but
again.
not quite. He's got that 50s tough kind of deal.
His dad didn't have that. His
No.
dad was like, okay, whatever you want, Slugger.
Yeah,
I was like, all right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jay's got that grit kind of. I came through the depression, damn it.
Yeah.
Kind of grit to him.
I ate 1 bean a day.
Exactly. So I'm really liking his portrayal of him. And next week we get Harrison Wells
With Jesse
and
Quick.
Jesse Quick.
What's
back
her
from
name,
Earth 2.
though? What are they calling her?
Should be Jesse Quick.
Just Jesse Quick?
Yep.
Okay, she didn't have a new speedster name.
That is her speedster name.
Okay. all
I
right.
mean, because she's
Just didn't know.
technically Jesse Wells,
Yeah.
but he called her Jesse Quick every once in a while.
Yeah, it's her nickname.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm sure she'll get a costume.
Totally.
And I'm sure she'll be the magenta is the villain,
That's what I was wondering about. Okay, yeah, Magenta.
and she I think she controls magnetism, maybe
Colors.
something.
The printing process.
Yes. I'm not quite sure. What
Francis
her-
Kane.
Francis Kane.
Magenta.
That can't be right.
Magenta. Former girlfriend of the Flash who was
Oh, that's
corrupted
right. She
by
was
her
Wally's.
magnetic
She was
powers.
Wally's girlfriend.
Oh.
When he was I remember after they had broken up and she had went nuts, he's sitting at home watching a ball game and she busts into the stadium and starts tearing stuff up and saying, Flash, you ruined me, you left me, get here.
Oh my God.
And so he has to leave his current girlfriend Linda and go deal with his crazy ex.
Was that Linda Park?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
While she's watching it on TV.
Oh,
And he has to, basically to get her to calm down, he has to tell her that, I was wrong. I still love you.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, Linda.
It got really
This is Teen
squirrely.
Titans, where she showed up. Wolfman and Perez.
Yeah.
Or Perez, sorry. Were the creators. Yeah, Teen Titans number 16 is when she showed up.
Cool. Yeah. So that could be interesting. And we'll see how they play that and what kind of relationships are going on here. Whether
they could still bounce it off of Wally,
Yep,
and then
absolutely.
Wally's like, sorry,
whoa, dude. Yeah.
my bad.
That's cool. And from Legends, like I said, I haven't watched the premiere, but Lance Hendrickson, the guy who's playing Obsidian, says that all of the character details from the comic books are making it onto the show. I don't know if they introduced him yet
To
Obsidian in Legends.
Who is Obsidian again?
He was GL's son, the original Green Lantern's son.
Oh,
And Lance Hendrickson is playing him.
no, I don't think so.
Okay.
Not yet.
Yeah, I didn't think they were going to this early.
Well, we got that guy, the historian dude.
Mm.
Yeah, he's the newest. Well, there's a lot of new people.
He'll be
who show
Citizen
up.
Steel.
Yeah, a lot of new people show up.
Okay, cool. But the Lance Hendrickson in an interview said that all of the elements or character details from the comics are going to be in the show version
Sweet.
of him. That includes him being that he wasn't always a good guy. He started out as a villain and became a good guy. That he's gay, and that he's the son of the original Green Lantern, Alan Scott.
Oh,
So we will have the concept of it's not Green Lantern Corps,
no,
but we'll have the
Green Lantern.
concept of a Green Lantern introduced to the show.
that's awesome.
And they've teased Hal Jordan on Arrow multiple times.
Yeah. Well, and then
So-
Flash too. They said, well, that pilot. They
Yep,
lost
the
that
pilot, the Ferris Air is where the airfield was Ferris Air, where they were testing everything.
Right, Carol Ferris.
So, but the let's see, now I've lost my place. Oh, the title of the second episode. So next week's it will be the Justice Society of America. They travel
Of
to
Legends?
Yes,
Okay.
the Legends travel to Nazi-occupied Paris, but find themselves surrounded by the Justice Society of America. The Legends discover a time aberration that threatens the JSA, but the JSA want nothing to do with them or their help. Nevertheless, the Legends force their way into the JSA's mission to intercept and seize a mysterious package. Nate, who is the one that we saw introduced.
The new character.
Yeah.
Mr. Hawthorne. I forget his
Hay-
name.
Hayworth.
Hayworth,
yeah.
Hayward or I forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's desperate to prove that he should be part of the team, but he has a secret that he shares with his grandfather, Commander Steele, that might make it difficult. Ray is so focused on impressing the JSA, he puts himself and Vixen in danger. Meanwhile, Stein has stepped in as the leader with Rip gone, but when decisions aren't made, Sarah seems to be the one calling the shots. Makes sense. She's going to be the one to step up and go, okay, we need to do this. We need to get it done. So,
Wow, that's cool to hear because a lot informs that from this episode,
Cool.
which I will not ruin for you.
yes.
Yep.
You're just busting.
It was good. I mean, I was like, "Ah!"
Yeah.
So
And we also got the premiere of Supergirl this week.
that was good too.
It was extremely well done.
CW-ished now. It's got the
Yeah.
like what our friend Just Jess at WCCB says, the CW sass.
Yes, exactly.
It didn't quite have that level of stuff
Yeah,
like CBS did, except from Kat. She was always Miss Sass, but
yeah.
everybody's funny now.
But yeah, it's the
We got a lot
Tyler-
of stuff, right?
Tyler is it Hoechlin?
Is that who plays Superman?
Yeah,
Okay.
the guy who played Superman. I like him better, except for his size. I like him better than I do Henry Cavill.
Yeah, I mean,
It put some lifts in his like 3-inch lifts on his boots, and we're good. But it bugged me. He was just a little too small. I mean, James, is taller than Superman. I can't get behind that. But he played it so well. He had a charm. In both Clark Kent and
they were great.
Superman.
Right, you said you loved the sort of old school where he saved the kid.
And then gave him a little wink, and then he took off. Yeah, it's a charm. That's a Superman that you want to see, you want to root for.
Right.
This mopey bastard that we've had in the movies for a while now is not. And that's the thing for me. Superman gives you hope. Batman scares the crap out of you. Superman gives you hope, and that's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I mean, it may be just an old way to look at it, and yes, the world has changed a little bit, but I don't think it's that far from what you need.
Well, I agree. I mean, I think if you had any other Superman on this Supergirl show, it would be wrong.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, because like he
fits
should
in
steal the
perfectly,
show. Right. He's the guy. He's the
Well,
core of everything.
And that's the
he
thing.
Doesn't.
He doesn't. That was the beautiful part. They did it so well. He didn't overpower her.
Nope.
He didn't
They
come in
together
and run the show. He was very. You could tell he was playing it as if he was like, okay, I don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
He specifically, and he even.
You remember he held the building, which was the equally or arguably the lower job.
Yeah.
And then she went down and fixed it.
Yeah.
With the welding, all the
and
things.
he was so proud of her when she did it.
Yeah.
It was great. It was played very well. And at the end, he's now looking and saying, yeah, you were there at home. And like, okay, he looks a little older now, but she actually is. Mm-hmm. She remembers home. And he's like, I want to sit and I want to hear stories about home.
Yeah.
And so that was well done as well.
Well, and how Superman longs to be with people like him.
Yeah.
Right? He feels alone, right? That's why he joined the Forever People or whatever, like way back in the day.
Hippies.
What's that?
Hippies.
The hippies. Yeah. I will go be with them in my Superland. And I think that was sort of a moment too, where he was like, well, I want to be around people like me, and family, which I thought was.
Yeah, it was very, very well done. And
so we got Mon-El, right, who's the mysterious crash lander person.
They're still trying to figure out who he is and what he is.
All right, he's still in a
not
coma.
Kryptonian.
Oh,
they're not sure.
Okay.
He isn't though. He's
they
Galaxian.
They scanned him for like some data thing.
Yeah, for a data port. So he's not cyborg or something. Yeah.
Okay.
But in the comics here, I think he's Galaxian. It's a similar species to Kryptonian, but not exactly.
That sounds like a laxative.
It could be.
Sounds like gas relief.
It's a galactic laxative.
A galaxative.
That's right.
Damn.
But yeah, so they're still trying to figure out who he is. I like the little heat between him and John Jones.
Oh, about having kryptonite on site. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And that was the thing. You see both their points.
Oh yeah.
It's not like you're being a bad dude and he's the good guy. Okay, I see why he keeps the kryptonite there. But at the same time, I see Superman having a real problem with that.
Yeah, I mean, at any moment, right?
Yeah.
And that's why he doesn't work with them. We also saw that there's we'll talk about, you picked up on 3 different references to the Christopher Reeve.
Yes, I did not go back and I was texting with Chris Carpenter while I was watching it, and I was mentioning the references. There was I counted 3 separate references to the Christopher Reeve.
I got
Superman.
one, right, which was Gene Hackman's Miss Tessmacher, right?
Yes, yeah. The new assistant is Miss Tessmacher,
Right,
and
for
she was
Cat.
screaming just like Lex Luthor, and
Yeah.
which I thought it was
That was
hilarious.
great. Yeah, it was great.
The also when he showed up, when Superman finally showed up, Wayne goes running up and he's like, when Lex Luthor blew up the West Coast, how did you fix the fault? And he never answers it, so they don't go more into it. But that was what Lex did in the motion picture. That was his whole plan, the
Blowing up
rocket,
the
and
San Andreas.
that's when he had to fly backwards and reverse the spin of the Earth and
Sounds
bring
like
back
a
time.
plan.
Because that sounds.
Rip Hunter would approve.
Yeah, those 2, and I can't remember the third one, but
Okay.
all I texted him was 3 Reeve movie references now, and so I don't know exactly what that third one was. But
I didn't mention this before, but sorry, I just remember when we did Flash Chat with Jess, she pointed out that the new captain in the alternate timeline was the guy who was basically Cisco in the original Flash TV series.
Yes,
John Wesley Shipp.
Yeah, that I didn't recognize him that during the show, but I saw it the next day. Somebody posted that was Julio.
Yeah.
From the original show.
And
Of course, he had dreads back then. He was much younger, so it was easy to miss that.
well, and I recognize him immediately because he was the guy from PCU. with Jeremy Pivens.
Yep, he was also. I love that.
Which
movie.
was, I think, a few years after he did Flash. But I thought that was a really cool nod that all these shows are doing that now, where they're just I mean, they've already done Tina McGee.
Tina McGee's been there as well, yeah.
And what's her name? Helen, who played Supergirl's mom.
Oh, Helen Slater.
Helen Slater. Yeah. So they're doing a good job.
Yeah.
Honoring the legacy.
Yeah, and it was cool to include that. And it's stuff like that you can weave them in like that easily. I mean, Tina McGee's kind of weird because it's the same name.
Right.
But it's not the same character.
It's Mercury Labs and whatnot.
It's a little odd.
So there's a few more things for Supergirl. I think next episode's going to be interesting, right? Superman is going to stay around for a little while, he said.
Yeah.
And then Jimmy's going to take on...
It was the first 2 episodes that they said he was going to be on.
Okay.
But they've also announced that Jimmy Olsen is going to be the Guardian.
Right. We've seen
He's
a photo
going to be a superhero.
So
yeah, they did release a photo of him in the costume. The standard from the comic books is a gold and blue kind of costume, but this is the picture they released is all silver. It's all like metal,
which isn't right.
It should be. I mean, and they may move towards that, but it's kind of weird.
Remember Diggle's helmet when he looked like Judge Diggle?
Judge Diggle, yeah. Her Magna Diggle.
Magna Diggle.
It's either Judge Dredd or Magneto, kind of mixture of the both. And, but yeah, it looks a little weird, but maybe they'll tweak it here and there. But he's going to be going out as a vigilante, even though Kara doesn't like the vigilantes that are out there, and he's roping Wynn in to be like the
Felicity,
the Cisco, or Felicity,
right?
The man in the van, basically.
The man in the van.
Helping him out. So when she finds out they're doing this, there's obviously going to be some
reckoning.
Trouble. Yeah, there's going to be a reckoning. So,
well, cool. I mean, I think we can probably round this out. Talk quickly about Arrow this week.
Yes,
because we got a brand new hero who's going to join the team that Oliver invited.
Yeah, we got several. We got
the main squad that's been advertised.
Yeah.
Plus, right?
Yes. Plus Ragman,
which was awesome.
That was the thing. You hadn't watched the whole thing yesterday when we were talking about it, so I didn't want to.
No, you did good, Tim. Yeah. It was the first time you've done good.
I didn't want to give it away because it was, and like I said, it's an obscure hero.
Yeah.
So I was
but
I
powerful.
recognized it. Yeah, it's very powerful, and that's the thing in the comic. What I was telling you that I hope they keep the story of his costume. Because
of him surviving the fire.
No, the costume itself holds the souls of the people that have been killed.
Oh man!
So he has access to their powers, but he also has all these voices.
Oh boy!
In his head.
So he's like Cloak almost.
Yeah.
From Cloak and Dagger in Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's it's a very interesting backstory with the costume. So I hope they still incorporate that. And he did say that his dad wrapped him in that so he could that would save him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said that they've been around for thousands of years.
Yeah, I don't know what Genesis Day was and stuff like that.
Genesis Day was when Damien Dark launched the missiles, and they were able to destroy all of them except that one, and they rerouted it to the suburb of Star City, and it hit.
Oh.
So basically, it was a choice of, millions of people over here or like 250,000 over here, and they had to make that choice. Oof. And that's the thing. It tears Felicity up because they weren't able to get rid of them all, and they had to make that choice.
Right.
And so when he says it was
that lady, right? The
Haven
arm tech.
Was it Havencroft or something? Was where they sent it. When he says that, they cut to Felicity, and she's just like, "Oh God!" So she feels guilty.
Oh, we're gonna die now.
Yeah, she feels guilty for that. So at some point, that's gonna have to come out that we had to do that. We had to make that choice, and it was when her and her dad were
calculator.
Yeah, were hacking the rockets, but they couldn't get that last one, so they had to send it to the lesser spot where it's going to do less damage.
So a lot of things are sort of progressing. I guess the team seems to be coming together, at least, or like that original group of recruits to trust Oliver. Thea seems to be kind of back in unofficially, but like
kind of, yeah.
but having more of
Here
a
and there.
dominant role. She seems to be having this side story with Quentin. She wants to bring him in as deputy mayor to get him on track.
I don't know if that's a good idea,
But we'll see. But then I guess the interesting thing is we have a rogue archer person running around who beat the crap out of what's his name? Church, who's not an easy
Tobias
foe.
Church,
who said his name was Prometheus.
Yeah.
And
it's from the comics, but it doesn't necessarily doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
It's hard to, I mean, looking at the ones, there's been like 3 different ones.
Okay.
So you never know
Different
which
style.
one's it going to be, and none of them were archers. So
Okay.
so I'm not sure exactly.
I mean, I thought it was immediately Malcolm Merlin.
Yeah.
Making me think like, oh, okay, cool. But no, it's not even the case. It seems to be somebody else, super strong. I mean, just like not one to mess with.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Not one to mess with.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at him here, and like he normally wears like a helmet, and he looks like a knight.
Yeah.
In like some of the older things, and he's buff. And here's one comic where he rips off, what's his name? Red Arrow's arm, Arsenal's arm.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, he just punches it off.
Oh, that's how Roy loses his arm.
Roy Harper.
Oh. Yikes.
Yeah, that looks pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, cool character for sure. I mean, I'm just looking at some of his things here, and he looks pretty badass.
Yeah. Yep.
No archery though.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, none of them were archers. There's been like 3 of them, and so.
Nope.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that was very. I liked the episode very well. It was throwing back to his time in the Russian mob, the Bratva.
Mm-hmm.
His training methods weren't exactly
on the line.
Yeah, but it was him trying to stay separate from them, because he felt like, first off, they have to be trained. If you're not trained, you end up dead.
Yeah.
And I don't want to care about you.
Right.
If I care about you, I lose you. And then, because he's
It's
lost
like the
so
old
much.
team.
Yeah, he's lost so much in his life. He doesn't want to be in that spot again.
Right.
But he finds, okay, I have to. They need to trust me. They don't trust me if I just beat the crap out of them.
Well,
so
can you blame him?
No, exactly, not at all. But it was a nice progression that he got through, and he was able to open himself up to them, and now it seems like they're all in.
Even Wild Dog.
Who was and I really like. I mean, that was a character I love from the comics, and I just got issue number 1 on eBay. Ooh. It's on the way. It's all these things all these comics that I used to own, and I'm now rebuying. It drives me crazy.
Timmy.
And I got those for like 50 cents.
Oh, nice.
No, until he came on the show, nobody cared about Wild Dog.
Nobody cared about it. Who?
And it just, like when we first announced that he was going to be on there, I was like, you said, I don't remember him. I was like, nobody does except for me.
Yeah, right.
I was like the only one that read the comic.
Is it the Wild Dog in the Toto song about Africa?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But he made, I think, a good progression. He was hesitant to be part of the group that, I've been, like he keeps saying, I've been doing it for 5 months.
Right.
But Oliver kind of stressed to him, listen, you can't even get past me. If you run up against somebody
who's real,
you're
going to die.
You're going to die. Yeah. So, I like his character. I like the way the kid is playing it. He's pissed off. He's got a chip on his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that. It's cool.
Yeah. Right. He's like, he says, I won't like it, but I'll do it. You know, type of thing.
Yep.
So
Felicity's
got her new man.
Yeah, but she hasn't told anybody, apparently.
I bet he's probably a bad guy or something.
They probably end up, jerk.
I bet he's like alchemy or something.
Oh, wow. That would be different.
That'd be wild.
That would be a little crazy.
But no, maybe he's Prometheus. I mean, we don't know.
That's true.
He could be one of those super guys.
Yeah. But also, this is interesting. Valiant Entertainment has been talking
Saw
for a
this.
while about
Cinematic.
making
TV.
cinematic. Now they've changed. It's going to be digital. They actually are launching Valiant Digital, which I don't know if it's just going to be released on their website, or whether it's going to be YouTube, or how they're distributing this. But they released
said, right?
No, they haven't said at all. They released a trailer for Ninjak versus the Valiant Universe.
I saw it. What'd you think?
I think in a lot of spots the acting was pretty crappy.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
It was
Costumes good.
Costumes looked awesome.
Real good, but
The action looks good.
yeah.
Effects, I think the acting, if in a trailer, if you're going, wow, that's not good acting, I'm a little hesitant.
That's edited down moments that are
Yes.
generally the poppiest of all of them.
Yeah.
If that's the poppiest they got,
Yeah, I'll still watch it because it's fun to see Bloodshot.
oh yeah, he looked great.
Did you know who that is?
Who?
That's Jason David Frank,
Who's that?
Tommy, the Green Ranger from the Power Rangers.
Oh my God!
Yep.
Are you kidding me?
That is him.
Oh my God!
Yeah, he looked great. Some of the effects, not so much on his. It just kind of depend on what they were doing.
Okay.
But I think I'm looking forward to seeing him because that's one of my. I mean, I know a little bit about Valiant. I've read Shadow Man. I've read Bloodshot.
Right, the bigger titles.
Tiny
Turok.
bit of no, I've never read Turok. I've read a tiny bit of Archer and Armstrong.
Okay.
So I know some of the
Harbinger?
characters. Harbinger is the team, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had that famous cover of them flying with that 66 Mustang or whatever.
Yeah. So that's the thing. I know some, like going through the trailer, going, okay, that's obviously Archer and Armstrong.
And Exo.
You see a real quick shot of Exo Man of War flying at the end. But the cast is, like I said, Jason David Frank is Bloodshot. John Morrison, who used to be in the WWE, he's now wrestling for Lucha Underground, is playing the Eternal Warrior. Kevin Porter is Armstrong. Derek Thieler as Exo Man of War. Damian Portier as Shadow Man. Sierra Foster as Livewire. And Chantel Berry as the villainous Roku. Yeah, like I said, I know Archer. They didn't even mention Archer, but they mentioned Armstrong, Eternal Warrior, Bloodshot. So I know some of these, but when you get down to Livewire and Roku, I don't know.
Yeah, right.
I'll assume Roku is the girl at the end of the trailer that tells Ninjak that he's looking well or something like that, and he says, "I can't wait to kill you." And that the guy playing Ninjak played Deadshot in Arrow.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
he
That's
was
cool.
Michael Rowe.
The white guy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
With the longer hair and
Yep.
the. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so he's done this before. He's played a superhero before. But yeah, that was one of my biggest takeaways from it is the acting doesn't look all that great. But they're doing it in conjunction with Bat in the Sun, and if you're doing it for strictly you won't say not for profit, but it's just a releasing. It's not. Bat in the Sun just produces and puts out their stuff to just online. It's not in a model to where you're going to be making money like you would if it was a theatrical release.
Right.
That bumps your budget down considerably.
Yeah.
So you can afford Jason David Frank, who knows how to act, Michael Rowe, who knows how to act. And then when you get below that, you might have to dip a little lower in the price scale.
And I don't know. I'm skeptical about this Valiant venture here. I don't know if they're gonna ruin themselves if they do this.
It looks like it seemed like a big plan to start off, and it seems like it's been notched down a couple.
Well, I think they're seeing the writing on the wall that they're missing this glory time of comic book movies, and that when
they need to
finally
jump
get the
into it,
money, they're gonna not do well.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think they should go for animated stuff
would, yeah.
and like flesh that out. I mean, invest the money into an
You could
animation studio and
you
just
could do a
really
whole lot
do great
more
stuff. Exactly.
You could take that same budget that they're using for Ninjak versus the Valiant Universe and put it into an animated movie, and it would be off the chart.
And if it was, because they could really do a good job. And I think
Because there's voice talent out there that's not big name voice talent
No.
that could do incredible jobs.
and they would be able to test the waters and know who's going to work for this instead of throwing actors at it, hoping.
Yeah.
I'm nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still watch it. I mean, if for nothing else, just for Bloodshot.
I know
I love
comic books
Bloodshot.
are life cereal for you. You're
That is
Mikey and you'll eat anything.
That's true. Even if it's bad, I'll at least watch it once. I mean, for God's sakes, I own the Green Lantern movie. I've only watched it once, but
You have the Golden Girls box set.
not the whole box set. A couple seasons.
You have the 227 box set.
Oh, wow. Is that the one with Jack A?
Jack A.
Mary. All right, that does it for movie and TV news. We're going to come back and we're going to take a spin of the comic rack.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Show your allegiance to the Ninja Troll by following us on social media. On Facebook at facebook.com/Ninja Troll Digicast. On Twitter at Ninja Troll Show. On Instagram at Ninja Troll Digicast. And find us on YouTube at youtube.com/C/Ninja Troll Digicast.
What have you done with those plans?
Or you can always contact us at ninjatroll@digitaltuxedo.com. You should tend to it quickly.
I hope so, Commander, for your sake. The Emperor is not as forgiving as I am.
Meanwhile, back at the Cathedral of Wisdom, it's time for the comic rack. Hey, nice rack.
Knock it off, perv.
No, it's the latest news from the enormous world of comics. Right here on the Ninja Troll Digicast.
All right, first thing, in a recent interview, Wonder Woman writer Greg Rucka has stated that Wonder Woman is queer. His words, not mine. I just want to state that. I don't really like that word.
What's he mean? She gay? Or
That's the thing. In his mind, it's only realistic to think that Amazonians would have a different outlook. It's love who you love.
Yeah.
Because there's no men there.
No.
So it only makes sense that they would have romantic relationships between women there.
So like Sappho's of Lesbos.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Greek tradition.
So and to him, in every canonical sense, that would be the case. It only makes sense that they would have a completely different outlook on romance.
Well,
Which
didn't they
actually?
Well, when she falls in love with Steve Trevor, right? Like in the original, like don't they think that she's weird?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Because they've never seen men before. He's the first man that has ever been on Paradise Island. So.
Oh right.
Yeah. It's a good spot to be in.
The plane.
Yeah, exactly. So,
the main.
Yeah.
The main.
But that makes it. It actually makes sense. It's kind of weird that we're having that was like the first question they asked him in the interview. So I'm not sure what
So something prompted it.
Yeah, what the agenda was there, but that's the news that he said that in his mind, yes, she is. So now Marvel Comics, they've been talking for a while about a mystery Star Wars series that was going to start up soon. They've now announced the name of it. It is Star Wars Dr. Aphra.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Aphra was a character that was introduced in the Darth Vader series, which is coming to an end, and this series goes right out of it. At the end of the Darth Vader series, she believes, you're not left to sure, but she thinks she's tricked Vader into thinking she's dead. I figure at some point that'll come back and he'll pop back in just for a little bit to cause trouble.
Oh, I see this. Okay, I see who she is. She doesn't look that. She looks like a young woman.
Yeah, she's a thief and a very resourceful thief, and she worked for Vader for a while under duress. Obviously, that's what he does. He makes you do what he wants. but the two of the kind of fan favorite characters that have been part of the Darth Vader series are, as people are calling them, the evil R2 and 3PO.
Yeah.
It's a protocol droid who instead same body model as 3PO,
yep.
but instead of being brass or golden, he's black, flat black. And BT, I think it's BT-0 is the little droid's designation. He's like an R2 droid, but I think it may be R2BT.
He's BT-1.
BT-1, okay.
Yep.
But they always just call him 000 and BT.
Yep.
Is how they were referred to. But they are how R2 and 3PO are like nice. They're the exact opposite. They're sadistic. Especially 000 enjoys torturing people.
Oh my God.
And is disappointed when it doesn't happen. Like there was one one issue where they had captured somebody and he was delightfully looking forward to torturing them.
Oh
and then they escaped and he was pissed off. so yeah, it's like a evil mirror version of
I love that
3PO and R2D2
because all the bad droids have always been idiots.
Yeah.
Or like just inadequate. Yeah.
They were very 000 was just like 3PO, very articulate. Very he's a protocol droid, so he speaks in well,
Anakin made him, right?
I don't know about 000.
Oh, 3PO.
3PO, yeah, but
which he never remembers, later on.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, I mean, he spoke in very just like 3PO, very diplomatic, cultured tones. But then he's talking about ripping somebody's arms out but very politely saying it.
Nice.
So it's a good part of the series. And also, the new series will also feature the Wookiee bounty hunter Black Kursastan. Oh. And I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. It's like Krrsantan. Okay. So you just kind of, it's a Wookiee name. You just kind of have to roll with it. Which is really awesome because he's, instead of like Chewbacca's like brown, he's got black fur and he's got a giant scar across his face. Oh. And he's like full on bounty hunter. He's, do whatever he has to get the job done.
Badass.
Yeah, exactly. Badass. But yeah, like I said, it picks up at the end of Darth Vader number 25, which ends the Vader series.
Oh, cool.
Where Aphra tricked Vader or thinks or is sure that she's tricked Vader into killing her. So, like I said, I'm sure that's going to come back to bite her in the butt later.
She went wrong there.
But it's an interesting idea for a series. This will be the first series that's based on a character that wasn't from the movies. No. It was just introduced as a character in the comics.
That's right. I don't think there's been one.
Yeah.
I mean, they did Poe Dameron.
But he was introduced in the
always in the show. Movies. Yeah.
I mean, in the movies. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to follow that and see how that does. It's been a very popular character. So
cool.
It was revealed in the Amazing Spider-Man recently that Hobie Brown, better known as the Prowler, was killed. But thanks to Jackal's mysterious technology, he has been brought back to life. His new life begins in Prowler number 1 as he finds himself in the employ of the Jackal. Yeah, the supervillain, one of Superman or Spider-Man's greatest rivals. Now Hobie is working for the Jackal, but Hobie also moonlights when Peter needs somebody to be. If he needs Peter and Spider-Man to be in the same place, Hobie puts on the suit and he's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So that may come back to be an issue later.
As well, yeah.
Yeah. But that I'm not sure when Prowler number 1 may be out already.
Okay.
I'm not sure. But the cover of number 1 shows him standing over his own grave, like a Prowler laying in the grave and another Prowler shoveling dirt on it. It's very weird.
Yeah.
And I think this is very exciting news. Scott Snyder says that he has a Justice Society of America story that he wants to tell.
Scott Snyder?
Scott Snyder that used to write Batman.
Movie director, yeah.
No. That's Zack Snyder.
Oh, Zack Snyder.
Scott Snyder is Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo did the run, the New 52 run of Batman.
Okay.
That was probably the best thing that came out of the New 52 was their run of Batman.
Okay.
And he is now saying he has a Justice Society story that he wants to tell.
What? Like what?
I don't care. I'll buy it.
So what? So it says they've been missing since the New 52 reboot?
Yeah, the Justice Society kind of got wiped out with Flashpoint and the New 52. They weren't mentioned. There was the Earth 2, which was the names of the characters, but not the Justice Society.
Oh, okay. Because they came back for Convergence.
It was a young Jay Garrick. Superman was Val Zod.
Yeah.
He was a Kryptonian.
Earth 2 Society.
Yeah. But so you had some of the names, but it wasn't the Justice Society. It wasn't what we know. He's talking about, I have a Justice Society story I want to tell.
All right. Cool.
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah, right.
Just produce it.
We haven't had a good Justice Society thing in a while.
And they both have left Batman. So if Greg Capullo wants to get in with him again and they produce Justice Society,
it's going to be beautiful.
Holy crap, it'll be awesome.
That's cool.
They've proven for 5 years, they've proven they kick ass working together.
Yeah.
So go for it.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. So they did in the DC Universe Rebirth, Johnny Thunder, who is a longtime member of the JSA, showed up in DC in the Rebirth one shot.
Oh, I haven't read that yet. I need to.
Oh yeah, you need to because it's beautifully drawn.
Cool.
And like it's Johnny Thunder's there and he's looking for
the Thunderbolt.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yep. He's trying to call him down.
Come back.
Yep.
Whoa. Same.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, I would love it if he did that. So like I said, shut up and take my money.
Yeah, totally.
So now Marvel is getting ready to introduce a new Venom with the upcoming Venom #1. One of the variant covers will feature art by Todd McFarlane, but it's not new artwork. Pulled from his original artwork from the debut of Eddie Brock's Venom back in Amazing Spider-Man 299. It was recolored by Richard Isanove and will feature a 1:1000 ratio. So that'll be fairly low run. So that'll be, and it's Todd McFarlane, so it's going to be pretty popular.
Wow.
It'll jump in price really damn
very
quick.
quickly, yeah.
For his part, McFarlane says he's flattered they're using his older work, but he does wish he could draw them a new Venom instead. But it's the classic back when when he created the character. So it's literally for when he created the character. It was probably a splash page that he did, and they're taking that and recoloring it. So it'd be really cool. Which it's theirs. He drew it while he was working for him.
They own it.
So they own it. Yeah, they can do whatever
yeah.
they want. But,
right.
And that's kind of what he's saying. It was like, hey, if you want me to do another one,
I'm here.
I'll do that.
I do it.
Yeah, exactly.
I can still do it.
I mean, he's not, I don't know if, there for a while he was doing, he was back to doing art on Spawn again. He was writing because Eric Larson came back to pencil.
Draw. Okay.
He did a couple of his, episodes penciling for him.
Cool.
So he's got time. He could do it. Okay. Now, if you've listened to the show for a while,
which everybody has,
of course, you know my love for gun-toting vigilantes. I mean, we were just talking about it earlier, like Wild Dog.
You're the only one that cares.
Exactly.
You're the only one who went on eBay and bought his 50-cent #1.
No, it's up to $7 now.
Oh,
$7.
I think you just
I jacked the price up.
Totally did. You did.
Hey, somebody else was bidding on it too. So, see?
Chris Carpenter?
But no, because he would know I would buy it, so he could just read it.
Are you shield bidding to me? It's illegal.
But I am excited to tell you that the Black Hood is coming back in just a few weeks. Actually, I think it's next week it comes out.
Wow.
It's called Black Hood Season 2.
I mean, I've seen that, but for comics that are about TV shows.
Yeah. They just decided to call this Season 2 because it kind of changes the way the story that they're telling.
Okay, that makes sense then. Yeah, because otherwise they have to renumber.
Yeah. And it's called the first story arc is called the Nobody Murders. As the Nobody Murders begins, the Black Hood is no more. There are rumors that the former cop Greg Hedinger is still out there, blending in with the homeless population, occasionally intervening in violent crimes. The assassin known as the Nobody considers the Black Hood a loose end, and he's willing to slaughter dozens to flush him out. But how high will the body count rise before Greg steps forward? Obviously, he's out there. So that's the thing. It's like forcing him to come out. And it's going to be interesting. They're obviously not going to be able to tell the story from his point of view if you're wondering if he's really going to come out. So who's going to be the viewpoint character?
That's a good question. Yeah.
Yeah, where they're going to come from, what angle they're going to come from there. Maybe it'll be the Nobody, the killer.
That could be really cool.
That would be interesting.
Like a hero story from the perspective of the villain.
Yeah.
So everything's gonna look like justified, like he's the
exactly.
villain's doing the right thing.
Yeah, because he's trying to make the Hood come out. That's that's the only reason he's doing this. I don't want to. If you just do what you need to do, then I wouldn't have to do this.
And for those who have not listened to the show for a long time, we know you love vigilantes.
Masked gun-toting vigilantes.
But Black Hood is Impact Comics, is that right?
It is Black Circle.
Black Circle.
Black Circle.
Okay.
It's an imprint of Archie. It's the one that had the first F-bomb in the history of Archie Comics.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Issue number 1, they just boom right there, like second page. Pow!
Man.
Right in between the eyes.
That's awesome. But previously, it looks like Black Hood was.
It's been around for a
Impact.
while. Yeah.
Or was under different and it looks like he's had different costumes too. But I think the modern one looks awesome.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's really.
He's got Cobra Commander face.
Yeah, it's really reality based. It's just a hood. It's not like a spandex mask that, like Luchador. It's a hood he put on his.
I can see that's it. Yeah,
Yep.
It's kind of just okay.
Yep. But it's a really good read. I enjoy it a lot. And they had they finished up. I guess you'd say they finished up season 1, and they had kind of a bridge issue that came out that was done by Howard Chaykin, who is legendary in the like big square-jawed classic look. So they did an issue with him doing the art, and then they did another one that was like a rewind to actually the guy who was the Hood before Hedinger.
Because I'm looking here, the first issue came out in 1946.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was that old.
Black Hood Comics, Volume 1.
Wow.
Well, actually, I'm sorry. No, number 18 was in...
So it was around for a while.
Yeah,
So
let's
in
see
the
when the
early
first
40s.
one came. And it's Archie. I'm on the Archie Comics Wikia. And yeah, I mean, this is no joke, man. This is old.
Yeah.
Super old.
Okay, yeah, it was created in 1940. Top Notch Comics, number 9.
Holy wow. That's amazing. Yeah,
Yeah,
you see
by Archie Comics.
that Black Hood, like he had that old costume.
Yeah, he
Cool.
yeah. Cool. All right.
That's
I might have to look
classic,
into that character and see what other stuff. But yeah, in
Showcase.
this modern series, there was a vigilante who was the Black Hood, and Hedinger is a cop, and he ended up being at the place where the Black Hood got killed, and he took the Hood with him, just kind of like a. Let me just grab this.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool. But he ended up getting hurt and disfigured, saving somebody. And he was called the hero cop, but half of his face is like horribly burned.
Ooh.
He's constantly in pain. So he gets strung out on pills. And then at the same time, he's going out to right wrongs, but also still drugs at the same time because he needs them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not this guy is a good guy running out and doing these things. He's not necessarily always doing the right thing. He's making mistakes. He's getting his butt kicked as well. But it's just a really good series. It's
wow.
Yeah. They've done a really, really good job, and I'm looking forward to it. It's next week that it comes out, October 19th. So
Number 1.
yeah,
Cool.
I'm definitely looking forward to that. So
Very cool.
But that is our spin of the comic rack. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to explore the multiverse.
Where does it get those wonderful toys?
Want to find out all you need to know about the Ninja Troll toys? Head over to NinjaTrollDigicast.com. There you can listen to our latest show as well as find all of our previous episodes. You can also find our minicast, small bite-sized versions of our showcase and Exploring the Multiverse segments, and find out more about Mike and Tim. And while you're there, click on the subscribe to iTunes button to make sure you never miss an episode of the Ninja Troll. That's all at NinjaTrollDigicast.com.
Wait till they get a load of me.
Now, it's time to explore the multiverse. On the Ninja Troll Digicast.
All right, welcome back to the Ninja Troll Digicast. And now it's time for our Explore the Multiverse segment, where we started many moons ago. We went back all the way to the first instance of the multiverse in DC Comics, which was Flash 123, the Flash of Two Worlds. And we have gone all the way up through all the crisis stories, all Crisis on Infinite Earth, Final Crisis, Infinite Crisis, all kind of crises. And now we have arrived at Flashpoint.
Yes.
The most current universe change. Well, no, I guess Rebirth would be counted as the most recent universe changing
Or
event now.
Convergence, yeah.
Convergence did it? I don't know if it changed a whole lot.
Well, yeah, it gave us a whole new multiverse. It rebirthed it, right? Because like Alan Scott made that planet into Earth 2. Remember, he protected it while whatever that guy's name was. Oh man! All right, we'll
Telos.
Telos.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying Tito. That's always my go-to
Tito.
name.
He's in Jackson 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, now we have arrived at Flashpoint.
We have. And this is, we really wanted, the amazing lineup of this is impeccable because we've got now the Flash series doing this, right? Calling the first episode Flash and Paradox, first two. And then we also have the animation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take us through the main core story, talk about sort of the differences, what's going on. And then we'll do sort of a little three-headed comparison at the very end of what's going on with the different adaptations of this story. Because it's a very popular story. It had some real guns behind it. So we got Jeff Johns, and then we've got Andy Kubert, right, of the Kubert family drawing, which made the issue so much more incredible. So cool. All right, so we'll jump in here, and story-wise, Barry Allen, he wakes up to discover that he's in an altered timeline in which Citizen Cold is Central City's greatest hero, and his mom, who's dead in the normal timeline, is alive, as is his father Henry. His father Henry, I apologize, is not alive in this one. He died of a heart attack 3 years prior instead of in prison. And the Flash, the Justice League, and Superman do not exist, right, in this world. In Gotham City, Batman throws a criminal. We see him throw a criminal off a building before being confronted by Cyborg. And Cyborg and Batman have a conference with a group of superheroes to discuss how the battle between, and this is the big thing going on in this world, is that Aquaman and Wonder Woman are having a war between Atlantis and Amazon. And they basically cause massive death and destruction in Western Europe. They've sunk France. All sorts of crazy stuff has gone on, and it's crazy. And one of the funniest things is everybody's costume is different. I'm going to talk about the different people, but Aquaman has Aqualad's like costume on, like he's got the red shirt and like the black and everything, and he looks like Garth, but just in costume only. Which I thought was funny. And then Wonder Woman just looks like a warrior. She's all armored out. She looks like Doctor Doom, frankly. So. The heroes can't form up, and they just kind of break into pieces trying to figure out kind of what's going on. And then Barry Allen, now he goes to the Batcave. Well, he drives there. He doesn't run there because his powers are gone. Where when he enters inside, he is attacked by Batman, who at that moment is revealed to not be Bruce, but Thomas Wayne. So in this alternate world, Thomas Wayne survived the attack in Crime Alley, as did Martha.
And Bruce died.
And Bruce dies. Yeah, and this is important because it sets up this whole world. So that's kind of an amazing, shocking reality. And of course, Thomas has no idea who this guy is. Like, who? What? Who? Flash? Who's that? So now in the flooded streets of Paris, or the flooded remains of Paris, Deathstroke captains a pirate ship.
He's a pirate.
In search of his daughter, Ravager. And he, along with his crew, Sonar, Icicle, and Clayface, are attacked by the Emperor Aquaman, who stabs Deathstroke in the chest.
Ouch.
Sonar is able to remove a piece of the trident from Deathstroke's chest and heal him. But then back at Wayne Manor now, Barry tries to explain to Thomas about his secret identity as the Flash and his relationship to Bruce Wayne. Barry's memories begin to spontaneously realign itself to the altered timeline. So this is a common thing.
Kind of, yeah. They did the same thing with Barry in the TV show. He started forgetting the old timeline.
Where he would go to remember, and that's how they kicked it off, and then that would trigger a change.
Yeah.
So, cool. So now that we're in this new timeline, Barry learns that the world of Flashpoint is not an alternate dimension, but his own. Barry's ring, now, as he tries to say, well, I'm going to do something about this, he opens up his ring, but in this time he ejects the Reverse Flash's costume. And that causes Barry to believe that the Reverse Flash is responsible for changing history. So Barry decides to recreate the accident that gave him his powers with the help of Thomas Wayne.
This is brutal.
In a bid to undo the damage caused by the Reverse Flash. But the initial attempt causes him to be badly burnt. It doesn't work.
He got struck by lightning just for no good reason. Just it lit him up.
And Thomas the whole time is just like, we'll see if it works. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he was like, I don't really want to do this.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. He's like, you think this is going to work? I don't think so. But now the president announces Cyborg's failure to unite the world's superheroes and the U.S. entry into the Atlantean-Amazon War. Right, so Cyborg's mission was to sort of bring everybody together and then stop this final assault. But because he had to do it, it's army time. Now in Fawcett City, Billy Batson feels distressed about trying to intervene after being easily defeated by Wonder Woman. Before resolving to put a stop to the war. Now, what's really cool is that when Billy turns into Shazam, he has this crazy scar across his face, which he earned from Wonder Woman. So he's not the mightiest mortal after all. Or maybe he is. He'd probably be dead, if anybody else. Yeah. So now the Flash, Batman, Cyborg, and Element, Element Woman, who's a character in this world only, break down the door in need of the Marvel family's help, and Batman asks Billy to use his lightning to prevent Flash's memories from changing even further. Billy sees the memories of his DC timeline counterpart. The group hears of the failed air assault on England due to the Amazon's invisible plane Air Force. And Hal Jordan is the first casualty. And a giant Atlantean-generated tidal wave threatens the rest of New Themyscira. Did I get that right?
Themyscira.
Themyscira. Yep. The mascara. Okay. Now Flash tells Batman that he cannot just stand by as his people die, since if he fails to stop the Reverse Flash, the world will destroy itself. Despite some reservations, Batman joins the Flash as the group heads off to New Themyscira, where they are joined en route by Enchantress. Now, Wonder Woman and Aquaman are fighting one-on-one until Flash and his team arrive. This is like kind of one of the big scenes. And the Marvel family transforms into Captain Thunder. Yep. Also transforming Talking Tawny. You remember him? Talkie Tawny. Captain Thunder, right now Captain Marvel, attacks Wonder Woman and appears to be winning until Enchantress reveals herself as the Amazon spy and uses her magic to restore the Marvel family to their mortal forms. It breaks them out. Now, this character, Penthesilea, kills Billy Batson, causing a massive explosion that cripples the opposing forces. And in the wake of the devastation, the Reverse Flash appears in front of Barry. The Reverse Flash reveals to Barry that the Flashpoint timeline was actually created by Barry himself and not the Reverse Flash, after he traveled back in time to stop Thawne from killing his mother.
My bad,
Barry. Barry pulled the entire Speed Force into himself to stop Zoom, transforming the timeline. Zoom resets Barry's internal vibrations, enabling him to remember this. And according to Zoom, these actions transformed into a living paradox, no longer requiring Barry to exist and allowing him to kill the Flash without erasing his own existence. So, of course, Zoom here is Professor Zoom, who's not Zoom from the show, who's the Reverse Flash, right? So they just the language here of the summary is changed.
Yeah.
But that's what is interesting, and I thought going into the paradox episode they would say, right, that like that Reverse Flash can now do whatever he wants because he can't go to certain places. Because he's stuck.
Yeah.
Because Barry hasn't put Speed Force
yet.
in that, right? Because he absorbs being the Reverse Flash.
Yep.
So now Zoom continues to taunt Barry with this knowledge until he is stabbed in the back by an Amazonian sword and killed by Batman. So he's sort of gloating.
Batman always wins.
He always wins. Even Thomas Wayne.
That's right.
Who has no reservations, by the way, for anything. He carries a gun and he shoots people. And
not a problem.
Not a problem. And by the way, the Batcave is like a fraction of what it is under Bruce. Like Bruce is into toys. Thomas is clearly not.
Yeah.
So
there's no giant penny.
No, or a dinosaur like the T-Rex isn't.
That's right.
So this was the thing that as Reverse Flash is saying, Barry, you can't. It doesn't matter. You can hurt me all you want. I'll survive. And then Thomas stabs him with the sword, which I thought was fantastic. So. Now, as the fight continues, Subject 1, who we'll find out who this is, arrives and begins to aid the heroes, but Thomas still insists that Barry put history back to normal to undo the millions of deaths that have resulted from the Amazonian and Atlantean War. Meanwhile, Cyborg detects seismic activity which he claims could destroy the world, and waves start to approach the shoreline. Now knowing the point of divergence, the Flash resumes his attempts to restore the timeline. Before he enters the time stream, Thomas thanks him for giving his son a second chance and gives Barry a letter addressed to Bruce. Barry then meets his mother and reveals his secrets and his inadvertent role in creating the Flashpoint universe by saving her life. Barry bids her a tearful farewell, and Nora Allen also accepts her fate, acknowledging that she will be reunited with her husband in the afterlife when Barry succeeds. Now, traveling back in time, Barry merges with his younger counterpart during the attempt to stop Thawne, inadvertently creating another timeline which slightly differs from either the Flashpoint or original universe.
Oh, it drastically differs.
Yes, it's called New 52. Oh, boy. Barry then wakes up in a similar manner to the beginning of Flashpoint. Believing that everything is over and restored, Barry remembers Thomas's letter and gives it to Bruce, who is still in this timeline as Batman. Bruce reads the letter and is deeply touched by his father's sacrifice to ensure his own life, and is grateful to Barry for informing him of the events that transpired before the timeline was apparently restored to normal. In the wake of the current events, a new DC universe begins. All right, and that's the summary coming from the Wikia, right? So reading this story and then watching the Flashpoint Paradox animation and then also seeing now what the show is handling with this, there's a couple interesting things. But just a quick thing about comics just to sort of, really improve our knowledge here. There were 52 spin-off issues from Flashpoint, which was a core of, there was 5 issues. So, wow, right? They had... Road to Flashpoint, which was in the Flash. Whatever Happened to Gotham City, Flashpoint Batman, Flashpoint Deadman, Flashpoint Citizen Cold, Flashpoint Deathstroke and the Curse of Ravager, Legion of Doom, The Outsider, Abin Sur, Project Superman, Frankenstein, The Creatures of the Unknown, The Secret Seven. Oh, man.
God of War.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hal Jordan.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Lois Lane and the Resistance.
Yeah, that was a crappy one.
And then I think you were saying one of the best ones was the Booster Gold. You were actually saying that I should read those.
No, Batman was the one that.
Oh, Batman was the better one.
Yeah, the dark. What did they call it?
It was I just read it here. Night of Vengeance.
There you go. Yeah. Where in that they revealed that he's chasing the Joker, and finally catches up with the Joker.
Yeah, and who is the Joker?
Martha.
It's Martha Wayne.
Martha lost her mind when Bruce was killed, and she became the Joker. And she's in Wayne Manor which is like broken down. It's
destroyed, dilapidated. Yeah.
And he realizes that that's where she went. And the end of one of the issues, he busts into Wayne Manor, and he says, "There you are," and you see her standing on the little balcony that looks over the front vestibule. And he says, "My God, Martha, what have you done?" And that's the end of the issue. And you're like, holy crap. It was really, really good.
So that's sort of one of the big things that I think was sort of doing a little bit of a comparison thing here. So when Bruce is killed by the gunman, as a story point in both the comic and in the movie, we don't have that in the TV series.
Yeah.
Thomas beats up whoever, Joe Cool, whatever, who's supposed to be the Joker and everything. And then Martha, at that moment in the comic, she is sad, right? But that begins her process of becoming the Joker.
Yeah. And she starts laughing because she loses her mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But in the Flashpoint animation, they don't reveal that. She just becomes the Joker right there.
Yeah.
Like that's it. And she laughs and haha. But like later on, we see like she cuts her cheeks open to reveal her teeth and smile.
Nasty.
It is horrible. So that was one point that I think was really interesting. Another thing that was a good touch point was Aquaman's doomsday weapon, his like sinking bomb or whatever that he's about to, in case he loses against Wonder Woman. That they just did a character change. So in the Flashpoint comic, it is what's her name? Terra's brother Brian.
Geoforce.
Yep. From what's that country they're from?
Markovia.
Markovia. Yep. And but in the cartoon they use Captain Atom.
Okay.
So they both have the ability to generate power. So they both powered the item. So that was the one difference that happened there, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, that's not really such a big deal. But then the real big one here is the Cyborg Batman meeting. So in the comics, some of the heroes and stuff only agree to help if Batman was in, and Cyborg tries his best to convince them, but still he declines. This causes many who attended this meeting to back out and think of themselves. Also, they're spies there. That's fine. But anyhow, they. Sorry. Here, hang on a second. Why is that important? Well, okay, so what they did there was like Batman and Cyborg have a much greater discussion, sort of talking about like his dad and everything like that, and they have that moment. But in the animation, they sort of stop it quite short, and it doesn't really have any impact when it's a huge part of the comic. So those were a few things that were sort of different. Now, as far as the show is concerned, we have a lot of things that are still in place. Barry does what he does. Thawne is still responsible. There's still the Flashpoint world that's different, but we're missing all of the other characters who make this
they
happen.
Haven't been introduced, so yeah.
And Cyborg and Batman, frankly, are the two most important characters of them all. I'm just kind of wondering how are they going to do this without doing it, which makes me think that perhaps they'll replace Batman with Robert Queen. So that would make sense, right, as becoming Arrow. As far as subject number one goes, that's Superman.
Yeah, you can't do that. Well, I guess...
Who would it be? Would it be Supergirl? I mean, it would have to be...
Maybe.
So let's see. So Flashpoint Superman. Imagine if the ship carrying Superman as a baby landed where the government found him instead of Ma and Pa Kent. Well, this is the story. And then they call him Subject Zero. And they keep him in a room.
Keep him underground.
Yeah, with no light.
No sun. So he's all weak and milquetoast.
Yeah. Can I have a candy? Yeah. Right, he's just beat up. So that's like one of the biggest things. So, we need Flashpoint Batman. We need Flashpoint Wonder Woman and Aquaman. And we need Superman. And Cyborg, frankly. So I don't know how they're going to do it.
It'd be interesting to see how they replace those elements of the story, or whether they just go on their own little path.
That's true, but I mean, Thawne will die, right? We know that's going to happen
probably
at some point. So in order for it to be this idea of paradox, who's going to kill him?
Yeah,
right. Who's going to put something through him that will, be the sword that we saw?
I don't know.
But here's the deal, right? On Earth 2, Atlantis was mentioned.
True. Yep.
Right? He's like, I know people from Atlantis. And it's like, what Atlantis? Right?
Yep.
I wonder. Okay. All right.
Maybe that's where that's going to play out.
And this is the season of new heroes upon new heroes upon new heroes. And I think we may get somebody at least. I think it'll be really cool. The DV Cyborg would be killer.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But again, that's another one that is being introduced in the movies. Do we want to double dip again?
We are already.
Yeah, we are. We might as well. Yeah.
Might as well. Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
It's all right.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
So Timmy, this was a short but amazing story. I think this is one of the best. Of course, no New Earth, but it's just another timeline.
But it changed everything. It changed the entire DC universe. So it's definitely a crisis story. So
for sure.
But yeah, the story itself was really good. I don't necessarily like what it birthed, but the story, the Flashpoint story itself, was really good.
I mean, what a great way, because I think Barry had just come back, right?
In 2008, so yeah, like 3 years before.
So we hadn't had a real giant Flash story.
Yeah.
Yeah, up until then.
Yeah.
So as far as things go, Tim, with our sort of ongoing quest, we have obviously Convergence, obviously Rebirth sort of in our future.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm wondering, I've been reading Justice League New 52.
Mm-hmm.
And just sort of going through there, kind of trying to comb for some stories. Nothing is officially on the record as being a crisis story, but I wonder, maybe just to round out the year to think about, doing something with coverage on that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's like 8 or 9 volumes of that whole run. It's not too bad.
It was one of those that were the standout. Like Batman was a
solid New 52.
Solid run, yeah. And Justice League was the same.
Yeah.
I'm saying it had a lot of good buzz that it was good.
I mean, it felt like Flashpoint because nobody knew each other.
Yeah.
Right. And then everybody meets, and Green Lantern says, "I thought you were a myth."
Yeah. He tells Batman that he thought he was an urban legend.
And they throw the New Gods and Darkseid right in the face of everything. He's big and bad enough to get started.
Unfortunately, that's kind of what I don't like about the new Justice League series I got when it just started with restarted again with Rebirth.
What's that?
Like you start off and the world's destroyed, and it's like these things are they're attacking and they're tearing down buildings, and so it's just like again. It's got to where the world has to be destroyed for it so it can be a Justice League story. All right, calm down, just dial it down just a little bit.
Right? Why can't somebody just need help with a recipe, and the Justice League is there?
Yeah, I mean, I understand
their culinary knowledge.
The stakes need to be a little higher, but it doesn't need to be an Earth-destroying event because it's hard to come back from those.
Well,
because that's the thing is that, okay, there's worldwide earthquakes. Okay, that would destroy our environment. So there's only so many times you can go to that well.
Yeah, I guess so. That's true. Right, without drying it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my thing with that is it just when I started reading it and it was all of a sudden these machines are landing and they're tearing up the world, and I was like, okay, here we go again.
More machines.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So just
Thanks everybody. I'll be outside. So that does it for us, Timmy, with our from your bartender at your Misty Borderland Lounge.
All right, cool. And before we get out of here, we want to give you our picks of the weeks. What do you have as a pick of the week?
You got a good one. Sorry,
I do.
I see it on there. Okay, mine is a comic. It is from Now Comics, and it's by Gendy Tartakovsky, who is the creator of Samurai Jack, and it is Cage.
Oh, nice. I've heard good stuff about that.
Can you dig it?
Yeah.
So I picked up issue 1. It's a Marvel Now title, and the drawing inside is not amazing. It's super amazing. It is it's great. It just sort of revels in the 70s goodness of Luke Cage. I'm real excited. I mean, I added this to my pull list. I mean, I was not a Samurai Jack fan, but I know and love the art, and I think this is going to be
it's going to fit perfectly.
A hang on to for me. Yep.
Yeah.
What you got?
All right, mine is Son of Zorn.
Oh man,
I don't know if you've watched it.
I've seen the trailer, and I'm like, what the hell? It
needs to kind of find what it is, because the concept's there. The whole concept is he's animated.
Right.
He let me actually find.
He's a Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah. Zorn, the defender of Zephyria, conqueror of the tribes of Agon, decapitator of the dark herdsmen of Grith. is an overlord of pain from an island in the Pacific Ocean where everyone is animated. But he finds his greatest battle may be the adjustment to the banality of middle-class America. Zorn returns to the suburbs of Orange County, California, on a mission to reconnect with his estranged ex-wife, Edie, and their son. Wait, I got to look at the other page. I had to find another page that had his full name. It's Alangulon. She calls him Alan. Everybody calls him Alan, except for Zorn.
Yeah.
Because that's his Zephyrian name.
He's got it. Yeah.
But he is he's a vegetarian, so he's not exactly the pride of Daddy's eye.
Oh man.
And he finds that Edie is engaged to another man, but he decides to stick around anyway. And that the other guy is played by Tim Meadows.
Oh, from SNL.
Yes. Yeah. So he's the quintessential vegetarian
West Coast
California.
guy.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And so he does not get in with Zorn's deal, but he kind of likes him at the same time. So he wants them to all exist all in one good space together. So, and Zorn is not about that. But he gets a job as a salesman, and he can't fathom that his boss would be a woman. So he thinks his boss just dresses like a woman, even though it's a guy. So he doesn't process. That's the thing. There's funny bits to it, but it needs to find like what it is.
Yeah.
It needs to kind of.
It's so bizarre. I mean,
it's very bizarre, and those elements of bizarre are what are really, really funny. He's using like the Eye of Zephyria or whatever, like some kind of mystic rune to watch Edie to see if he can get back in her good graces to get her to get rid of Craig.
Like the Eye of Thundera?
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, he's using stuff like that. And he's always at the office he wears a button down shirt, but then the furry panties and like bare legs. And he wears the sword, of course, all the time. He somebody from the other office comes over and steals like their hot sauce or something. So he has to take it on as a quest because he hasn't had any battle since he left Zephyria.
Oh my God.
So he wants to go on to a quest, and he gets in the air duct and crawls over to but his sword is sticking through the bottom of the air duct, and it's like cutting the ceiling as he goes. It's weird little goofy stuff like that it's very funny.
That sounds good.
But there's only so far this is going to go, so they kind of need to dial in what they're doing.
Well, you remember Drawn Together? Remember that show with all the superheroes lived in a house together?
Yeah.
And, well,
but this is a mixture of
live action
as well.
That's cool.
So he gives Alagulon a giant falcon to ride, and Edie's like, no, we're not doing it. I told you no. You're not giving him that. And he's like, go son, fly, and so he won't take off because he's like completely rejecting his father. He doesn't want to be Zephyrian. He is actually half animated. His legs are animated. But he always wears pants, so you never see it. That was like kind of a
way to
a big deal
so funny.
Yeah, he's being made fun of at school because he'll never wear shorts. And then somebody sees his legs and they start making fun of him, and he ends up kicking him, and he knocks him through a wall. So his legs, because they're animated,
are super strong.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So but yeah, because Edie says no for the falcon, he kills it he slits its throat in the driveway. So it's so weird. There's different stuff like that. So you have like the barbarian, like Conan the Barbarian kind of thing happening like that
in modern life.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's funny. Like I said, they need to nail down where they're headed, or it's not going to last long. But to me, it's been really funny so far. So
awesome.
That's my my pick for the week.
You pick them and flick them.
Yeah, that's right. And that's going to wrap up this week's edition of the Ninja Troll Digicast. Remember, for all the latest news from all around geek culture, make sure you follow us on social media, facebook.com/Ninja Troll Digicast.
We're on Twitter at Ninja Troll Show.
And Instagram at Ninja Troll Digicast.
We're on YouTube at youtube.com/C/Ninja Troll Digicast.
And you can always visit us at NinjaTrollDigicast.com. And while you're there, click on the subscribe to iTunes button to get the Ninja Troll on iTunes. Make sure you join us next week. Same Ninja time, same Ninja channel.
You've been listening to the Ninja Troll Digicast. Tune in next time when you'll hear Tim say,
"Hold on to your butts."
This is the Ninja Troll Digicast, the defenders of all things geek culture.
Don't go ninja, nobody don't need ninja.